repair for 50% off. Don't miss the Black Friday week of savings, now through Saturday at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero at Fort Smith.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
With Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What's angle one racerback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Good morning, and welcome into a Friday-ish Wednesday edition of Halftime, the day before Thanksgiving, and many of you may already be out on the roads, on your way to getting up in the air. And I love days like this. Absolutely love days like this. Phil Elson here, my partner Matt Jones, got Kristen Johnston in the studios. It is halftime for the next 3 hours on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. And I basically feel like it's just turned it into one whole golden hour for these next 3 hours. Matt, good to see you today. Happy day before Thanksgiving. We don't call it like a Thanksgiving Eve, but this is when folks start to get together with some of their friends. Imbibe a little bit more than usual, maybe on a Wednesday night. And you can see I got my martini hat on to try to start early without actually drinking early, celebrating Drinksgiving, which I think is the day before Thanksgiving is officially referred to, maybe not in a federal holiday way. Happy Drinksgiving to everybody out there.
I like it. It's going to be, happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving. Champions League is in the air. Man City had a 3-0 lead, and Feyenoord, it's a Dutch team. The Feyenoord, they came back to tie it 3-3. You get Liverpool and Real Madrid today at 2:00 Champions League. It doesn't get any better than that.
I know what you're doing at 2:00. Hey, is there a commentator that you watch for any of the soccer games that is viewed over there in the same
Ian
way that
McClellan?
we used to view? Is Ian McClellan like the John Madden of European footy?
He's like, that's where the spiders make their webs, He's He's like jumped out of the air like a salmon jumping out of a stream. Like all that type of stuff. He's in a purple patch, all that type of stuff. Yeah,
I love that. Well, I wonder if tomorrow will he break out some sort of a giant turducken the way that Madden used to do. We still do the turducken thing on Fox for football Thursdays on Thanksgiving, but it's just another day over there.
They don't know what Thanksgiving. Yeah, they don't know what that is.
It's not the same thing. I remember it was one of the first trick questions I ever remember being asked as a kid. Thank goodness this wasn't on a test. So it was a girl that had a week before. I think this was like a show and tell kind of. This was like a third grade thing. She asked all of us if they celebrated July 4th in Great Britain. We're like, of course they don't. Why would they? I mean, do they have a July 4th in Britain? We're thinking Independence Day. Well, of course they have a July 4th. Everybody has a July 4th. They have a Fourth Wednesday in November over there, but it's certainly not anything worth celebrating. Good to be with you guys today, man. I got. I mean, this feels like a Friday just without the travel. I'm not going to know what to do with myself when we're done with this here. Get 4 days before our next show. Great. Got basketball to watch tomorrow, along with a lot of football. Figured out what it is I'm going to make for the Thanksgiving deal over with my kids tomorrow. So I'm usually someone that's used to prepping for games and prepping for shows, Matt. It's like you're good at relaxing. I'm not going to know what to do with myself for a good few hours tomorrow because it's not like you can start. I'm not going to. It's like I put on the martini hat today. I can't drink until like probably before until like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So if that's the direction some would go, I can't do that tomorrow. I don't know what to do with myself. We had people text in yesterday asking, giving me advice on how to stay asleep longer. Someone said drink 4 beers. I'm gonna have to get up and pee. I might actually just dial into to the station tomorrow at 11 o'clock and just talk to myself for 3 hours because I'm used to doing this. What am I going to do with myself tomorrow?
It'll be a good day, man. You go on a walk. The weather's perfect. Stretch a little bit. Get that back loose, man. Get your stretching game right. Start doing it. Start making it a habit. Yeah, man. You can think of a couple things to do.
All right. Well, I can think of a couple things we'll have going on here on Halftime today. Brett Dolan joins us in the next segment. He's in Cancun at the Cancun Challenge, calling it on television. So it's like one of those things. He's got to call every game. I'm sure Brett's not really spending much time on the beach anyway. And I think he's on the touchdown radio call for Washington, Oregon later this week. Oregon would be one of the teams that is that should be confident they're going to be in no matter what. Heck, they're one of the only undefeated team that's out there right now. So would make a lot of sense. What do we think of this? What do we think of the poll that came out yesterday, Matt? I was talking. Matt and I were talking earlier today, and I was trying my absolute best to dream up a scenario where the SEC only gets one team into the playoff. But I do think that there's a scenario where you could only end up getting 2 teams in, which I just would not have expected. But when there's too many teams with 3 losses. And there's other teams that might be in lesser leagues that have 1 loss. I don't know what you can do about this.
I think the A&M Texas game is a play-in game for A&M, and I know a lot of people have this thought that if A&M goes to play Georgia and loses, then they don't make it. That you're not penalized for playing an extra game. A&M would have finished absolutely second. They got silver polish in the SEC. You don't get. You don't get punished for playing an extra championship game. If A&M beats Texas and finishes second in the SEC, how in the world are they not in the college football playoff 12? You don't get punished for playing an extra game.
And I agree with you. You shouldn't get punished for the extra game. But I guess the question would be,
it's a regular season. They finished second. You can't. Nobody could actually say the words that makes it make sense. Is what I'm saying.
It's just the extra loss, the out-of-conference loss. I mean, that's, we could try to make this like NFL playoffs at some point, but when they're league standings and those in a lot of people's minds mean more than any non-conference game, but the committee is still supposed to look into what happens throughout the entire season. It's like I'm with you. If you finish even if it's tiebreakers in second place in the SEC and you're playing in the championship game, that should be enough to get you in. but it's those other losses for A&M, and it's, like with Tennessee, they're not going to get into the SEC title game, but what if they lose to Vanderbilt? 3-loss Tennessee, that's probably not getting in to the football 12.
No, if they lose to Vandy, I think you're right. I think Tennessee would play themselves out of it.
Texas needs this win over A&M to at least cement it. I mean, they don't have any kind of win that really you point to and say this is the win that we can build our case on. Indiana doesn't either, but Indiana has just 1 loss. And 2 losses to 1 loss. I guess you look into the schedule and everything. The truth is, Indiana doesn't have one of those wins you point to. Texas doesn't have one of those wins that you point to either. So, I mean, it's like a nightmare scenario. It's a legitimate scenario where you could end up with 2 SEC teams in, and no matter what, it's like, so Greg Sankey pounds his chest, threatens everybody on the committee and everything. I mean, they really, I just don't see how it happens. Alabama does not belong in with 3 losses. I don't think Ole Miss belongs in with 3 losses either. Right now, you're at a place where you very well could end up with the Big 12 champion doesn't even make it to the playoff. I mean, that Arizona State is the highest-ranked Big 12 team. They're 1 spot ahead of Tulane. If Tulane finishes ahead of Arizona State in the rankings and they win their conference championship, Tulane gets in, and no Big 12 team gets in. I mean, it's just like we all just assumed that the 4 conferences that make up the former P4, but we know it's really P2, that they would just get in and they would end up with buys. Now, not only are we in a world where could end up with a Mountain West champion getting a bye, but you could end up with a Big 12 champion not even making the playoff, which I don't know. It's just entertaining, all of this. We just made all these assumptions when the playoff was created that it's going to be 4, and we'll figure out the rest of it depending on Notre Dame and everything. And the season's been the kind of year where all of our predictions on this turn out to be 100% wrong.
How exciting!
It is.
They got Boise State getting a bye. They'll get beat by Ohio State if that was to match up like that. Ohio State would love that matchup.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I do. I love it. It's fun. It's fun, and that's what college football is supposed to be. Tradition, wins, content for television partners. But I also think it's supposed to be fun. And I can't remember the exact year, but I think it was about maybe 12, 13 years ago where there was the last day of the Major League Baseball season. There was something like 6 or 7 teams that were vying for the last 3 playoff spots. And it was just an absolutely crazy day from start to finish. That's what this month has been like in college football. That's what this next weekend is going to be like. And the conference championships will end up, making you feel exactly the same way with the scenario I just laid out a minute ago. All right, again, halftime today, as we'll break in a moment. We have Fisherman Clay Henry joining us at 12 noon for the rest of the show, and Brett Dolan coming up with us in just a moment. Lots of time for your calls and texts as we go throughout today. And don't forget, as you are planning for your Thanksgiving tomorrow, you might want to get over to Andy's Frozen Custard today and take home a pick 6 or just any kind of multiples of 6, depending on how many people you got coming over. They will help cool or satisfy your sweet tooth. Best desserts for Thanksgiving, even if you make them yourself. It's Andy's Frozen Custard. Mix and match 6 of your favorite flavors for the perfect game time or turkey time treat. Andy's Frozen Custard at Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. They're on East Oak Street and Dave Ward Drive in Conway and North Little Rock JFK Boulevard. After the break, it's Brett Dolan from Touchdown Radio and about 18 other sports media organizations. Stay with us. Halftime back after this.
Certainly, this is a special time. Even happy Thanksgiving to Brian and Ozark.
This is halftime.
Don't miss Hog Reaction after every football game. Brought to you by Bud Light. Also presented by Black Hills Energy.
Matt, is it that simple? Is it just they got to get better players, or do you see some coaching issues too?
We have some talent on this team, that's for sure. It was just something that happened early where we got a 4th down stop, and then all of a sudden they get a turnover touchdown, and it just kind of ballooned in the second quarter.
Only on ESPN 95.3.
Here with Grant Neal, General Manager at Rhodes Chevrolet. Grant, it looks like your quality and quantity of pre-owns just keeps getting better.
Yeah, it's really getting a lot better. And the reason is because we're selling more new cars. More new inventories rolling in, and with that, we get better trade-ins, which are the highest quality used cars we get. They're all going through our shop, getting a high-quality inspection from our certified technicians, making sure that everything works and it stops, starts, and steers safely, because we want everything out on the lot to be at a high quality. But we have something for everybody, whether you're looking for a cheap set of wheels just to get around, or you need a new primary car for the family, a new truck for work, whatever it is, I promise we're going to have something for you on our pre-owned lot.
What if someone needs financing or doesn't have the best credit? Can you help them?
Absolutely. Our finance director, Robert Good, is an expert at working with the banks. We've had people who said that they'll never be able to buy a car, drive out of here in a brand new set of wheels. And as we know, the Fed just did another cut in rates, so it's only going to get better as the year goes on.
2800 down the highway, Van Buren. It's Rhodes Chevrolet, where we make car buying great again.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for limited
On
time.
ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and HitThatLine.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
One call, cleans it all.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got puppies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So
any full court shots that get made because they bounce into the ceiling.
That is correct. We're in a ballroom, Hard Rock Hotel Riviera Maya, and it seems to work. Obviously, there's no scoreboard that hangs from the middle, but you do get some shots that get a little bit close. And 8 men's teams, 8 women's teams, so it's a basketball palooza here at the Riviera Maya. But I've been doing it. I think this is 6 years. I lost one during COVID, so I hope I can keep coming back because it's a nice Thanksgiving tradition.
Who's at this tournament that you're calling?
Well, our championship game tonight will be Wyoming and Loyola Marymount. We've kind of settled into a mid-major. We've had Auburn here in recent years in West Virginia. It's just harder to compete with some of these ESPN events that are paying people and such. So that's our championship game at 8:30 on CBS Sports Network. Our consolation game at 6 is the teams we thought would be in the championship game, Belmont and Tulane. But we'll crank it up. 2 down, 2 more games to go before we have to leave.
So you got Oregon, Washington this weekend for Touchdown Radio. I know you haven't been on every game for Touchdown Radio, but you've been on most of them. Is this one of yours?
It is, and I'm excited to see Oregon. I've never been to Autzen Stadium, and when you've been to 80-ish stadiums, and there's still a few that you haven't been to, it gets me excited. And then seeing an undefeated team, a number 1 team, against a pretty decent Washington team. They're not elite, but that's a team that could potentially give Oregon some fits. So I'm excited to get to Eugene. It's a mid-afternoon game Pacific time on Saturday, and that'll kind of wrap up our regular season.
Brett, any surprises or any upsets you're kind of looking at this week? I was kind of thinking that Notre Dame going out to USC might be tough, and then we've had a couple people say that Notre Dame's playing the best football out of everybody. That shouldn't be be anything for them. And then South Carolina, Clemson, if they get a little help, that could be a play-in game. Who else are you looking at this weekend?
No, I think that's a fun one, Matt, South Carolina, Clemson, because South Carolina, for all the SEC issues, they still have a chance to maybe play their way in, and Clemson is doing the same thing. I mean, you got 2 teams with vested interest in trying to not only win but look good doing it, to kind of be in that 11 to 14 range where maybe with more chaos ahead of them, they could sneak in. I had USC last week against UCLA, and I don't know if they've got enough to beat Notre Dame, but I think it's worth watching because, again, it's late in the year. It's November. USC gets to stay home. They have a quarterback who's much more mobile than the previous one that might give Notre Dame some fits. Obviously, the Irish have been kind of in after they kind of resuscitated themselves with that loss, but they still have one of the ugliest losses. So if you would lose to another team that's 6-6-ish, that would not bode well for them. That would give an opportunity for one more SEC team to jump in. And I don't know, Matt. There's a couple of games that maybe aren't really intriguing, but I think could have impacts. And that, Arizona State at Arizona, for example, and Kansas State, Iowa State. But that Texas and Texas A&M game is the one that I'm going to be focusing on because it does have all the implications of, you don't play well, you don't win, no matter how good you may be. This is your opportunity one way or another.
All right, Texas would have to fall to 11th to not make it because of the way that this is all being done. There's going to be a team that's outside the top 12 that probably gets in. Boise State's at 11, so I guess you're looking potentially at Tulane that could get in as an extra group of 5 out in front of the Big 12. You see the way the committee does this. They will drop you quite a bit with a loss. I mean, Indiana drops 5 spots, losing to the number 2 team in the nation. I'd be a little nervous if I were Texas. Even with a loss to A&M, A&M's all the way down at 20. They give you drop more with a loss than you can raise yourself with any sort of a victory.
I won't disagree with that. I would say with Indiana, by middle of the afternoon last Saturday, they were out, and now they're back in, and they're back in not because of their loss, but because of other teams around them that gave them that chance again. But your point about Texas is a good one because, there's a lot of old SEC people that have been grumbling all season about Texas's schedule. As far as not playing a lot of top-tier teams, they got Georgia at home. They had to go to Vandy, and obviously they have to go to Texas A&M. But we've been waiting 12 weeks or so for this to happen. So if they don't win, or even if they don't play terribly well, they still lack that signature win. And I think that's a little bit of the issue with Indiana. I think when you lose and you don't have some inventory in the win column, that's where you plummet. And I do think that is a possibility for Texas because that schedule that has allowed them to win all these games has also kept them from winning a couple of big games that would really kind of have their chances locked in even before they play at Texas A&M.
Brett, I got to ask you, who wins the Heisman? Is there a Heisman moment this weekend? Do you think with that loss that it kind of hurt Travis Hunter, the Boise State running back, you're going to get a chance to see somebody who I think is going to get invited in Dylan Gabriel? They go undefeated. Who do you got?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see Dylan Gabriel. And I heard last week that I was going to get my first Heisman vote. I'm still waiting. I still don't know. I hope. I think if you get one, they don't want you discussing who you're voting for, but I don't have one yet. So I will say I do think it's Travis Hunter's to lose. The kid's playing 2 games every weekend, and even though he missed a game earlier in the year with whatnot, what he's doing is still pretty crazy. And Gentry's got a chance to be second. I'm curious about Gabriel. I think he'll get invited to New York. Matt, really, there's been an absence of guys behind them having big moments, and whether that's Ewers or Beck or some of the guys who've kind of fallen off that we thought would be in that mix and have never really been able to get there. I think Cam Ward still got a chance to get to New York, and they have a good Syracuse team or a tough Syracuse team this week with no guarantee they're going to win that either. But I think Travis Hunter right now is the guy. And when you're talking about a wide receiver and a defensive back from the Big 12 and a running back from the non-power 4, it's a little bit of an unusual year with the Heisman, but I don't think that takes away from what Hunter has done this year.
I saw where Deion Sanders said yesterday that both Shedeur and Travis Hunter will play in the bowl game. You don't look, these are going to be guys that are potentially top 5, top 10 picks in this upcoming draft. You just don't see that very much. So, it might not be necessarily like a huge fan of the program. I do like the way that Deion's turned things around and everything, but you don't see the stars play in the bowl games very much when they're expecting to go into the draft. Hunter's already said he's going into the draft. Shedeur will too.
I like it. I don't know if Colorado would lose it in the game, whether that might change. I mean, they do have an opportunity to leave a mark on a program. And as much as we talk about the NFL, and I get it, I won't argue against sitting out. But when you're the guy that in 15, 20 years from now, Matt knows what this is like. When you come back and people recognize you and they want pictures with you and they want autographs and they thank you for what you did, that's a pretty special situation. And these guys have that opportunity for Colorado football that was dead on arrival when they got there. So I like it, and I hope more do it. I can't argue with those that are worried about an injury that would really impact their draft status and, of course, money.
Well, and it could be kind of that Willis McGahee thing where the school should be able to provide an insurance policy. If you're a top 100 pick, I think the school can provide an insurance policy. And then you would have to think that there will be another NIL deal. They're going to get paid to play in the bowl game. They're not going to do it for free. If it's $100,000 or even if it's 7 figures, they're going to make it worth it for them.
Agreed. And, every once in a while we look at that McGahee situation. That was really a career alterer. An injury doesn't necessarily mean you won't be drafted high or get a chance to play in the NFL. It just might delay you a little bit unless it's really gruesome or terrible or really kind of flips the switch. I think we've seen enough from those two to know that they're going to really get a chance to be drafted highly and at least get a lot of money at a signing bonus. So I hope more play. I think it creates some excitement for the programs. I get it if you're a 6-6 team or you're not going to an elite bowl or the playoff, but I do think it does send a nice message to the team that, hey, let's finish what we start.
All right, I got to ask you about Saturday, Arkansas going to Columbia to take on Missouri, and Phil and I was kind of bringing up the prospect that Landon Jackson, Jaquindon Jackson, and Andrew Armstrong, this could be their last ever game to play for Razorbacks, especially if we're talking about guys holding out for the bowl game. What's a key? What does Arkansas have to do if they can do this one thing well? they're going to be able to beat Missouri?
Well, it's not sexy, but I would agree with you. I think you're right on all of those aspects. That let's run the football. I think what Jaquindon Jackson gave them a couple of weeks ago is a little hope that what had left them for maybe the middle portion of the year, that ability to run the football, might have an opportunity to come back, and Dominion and whatnot, and even Salem. But give them a chance. I don't know what the weather forecast is looking like in Columbia. I'm kind of stuck here in 88 degrees. Poor me, but. Late in the year, you've got to be able to run the football a little bit and pass around that. But I try and stay away from the fan guy with the Razorbacks. But I want to be a fan a little bit for this game. I want them to find a way to win this, to get over the hump against Mizzou, and kind of put a capper on a season that maybe has either met or maybe even slightly exceeded expectations.
Do you hear that, Matt? I don't know what the weather's going to be like in
Maybe
Columbia, but it's 88 degrees here and sunny. It's beautiful. It's going to be freaking 30 degrees with snow, Brad. Don't tell me you didn't.
Okay, you better be able to run the football, dang it. I mean, you're not going to be able to go 30 for 40 through the air when it's cold and icky.
Pina colada, dark rum floater. There you go. Go down the water slide.
I could have that Friday night in Columbia, make it feel like I'm ready to go down the water slide and call Loyola Marymount.
There you go.
Wyoming.
If the Holiday Inn in Columbia, you need to do that, yes.
Brad, have a great Thanksgiving. Travel safe, good calls and all of that stuff, and we'll catch up with you next week, okay?
Happy Thanksgiving to you guys, too.
Thank you, Brett.
Brett Dolan, Touchdown Radio.
Tough life.
Cancun
tough
Challenge.
Yeah.
He's very well aware of what the weather's supposed to be like. Even if you don't even check the weather, it's a game in Columbia, Missouri, the 2 days after Thanksgiving. What do you think it's going to be, right? It's never been nice there. The weather has literally never been nice. In fact, not even just nice. It's been crappy. It's been 2 shades worse than crappy. Every time the baseball team goes there, every time the football team goes there. Heck, I think it was Jimmy's first year as the women's basketball coach. We couldn't even fly. We couldn't even fly from Fayetteville to Columbia. We had to take a bus. I know, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. And it was snowing the whole time. Jimmy Dykes is live tweeting Frozen that they're watching during. It was a much different sort of a travel situation than I would have expected. We can open our phone lines for you here. 877-377-6963. Calls and texts as we go throughout the rest of this first hour. Clay Henry in about half an hour or so. You don't want to do any more cooking. Forget about the cooking tonight. Get over to Fish City Grill in Rogers and enjoy either one of these 2 specials that they have through the end of the week. Cilantro lime shrimp tacos. You get 18 blackened shrimp tacos stuffed inside with cilantro lime vinaigrette topped with jalapeno guacamole, cheddar jack cheese, lettuce, tomato, pico, and black beans and rice as your sides. There's seared Texas redfish. It's topped with Thanksgiving oyster dressing and warm winter herb beurre blanc. That's at Fish City Grill, South Bellevue Road, Rogers. They're also online at fishcitygrill.com. Call them for curbside pickup or delivery, 479-636-8833. Stay with Halftime. Back in just a moment.
You're bleeding, man. I ain't got time to bleed.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line Now.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
In the communities we serve, we know your energy is best spent on the things you enjoy. That's why we're helping you save your energy with natural gas. More efficient than other energy sources, save your energy for cheering on the Hogs. Be tailgate ready with your natural gas-powered outdoor grill. Enjoy fast, cozy comfort from your natural gas fireplace when ball games get chilly. At AOG, we know your Razorback pride runs deep. Ours does too. And so does our commitment to caring for the communities we serve with Always On Energy. Visit AOGC.com.
The best things never change, they just get better. Like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Choose from juicy charbroiled double cheeseburgers, melty hot ham and cheeses, or hand-breaded chicken tender wraps. 2 full-size favorites plus fries and a drink, all just $6.99. There's no skimping in this bag. No junior burgers or tiny nuggies, just full-size goodness for big-time value. The $6.99 Original Bag, only at Hardee's. These items only, tax not included. Price and participation may vary.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
AAA Business Systems is your printer, copier, and production print solutions provider. What makes AAA unique? Ricoh, Sharp, and Brother Equipment. Fast, friendly service from our office technology experts. All-inclusive service contracts, managed IT services, and 4 locations statewide. AAA Business Systems. Find us online at AAABM.com. AAA Business Systems. Anything else is just a copy.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Baby, keep on losing you. You go somewhere that you run to. Baby, see the shadows. You go somewhere I cannot follow. You said, do it for me. It's your call. Keeping it to yourself.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Paul Bissonnette is a former NHL enforcer. I think it'd be the right term for a guy that spent a lot of time in a penalty box over a 6-year career. He is now a co-host of an NHL podcast that is called Spittin' Chiclets. For those who are unaware, chiclet isn't just gum, it's teeth. And, of course, if you are an enforcer in the NHL, you have spat some chiclets a couple of times in your life. Might even not even happen on the hockey ice. It actually happened with Bissonnette in a Phoenix restaurant called Houston's went 1-on-6, attempting to. It's funny, you look at like NHL enforcers, guys like Marty McSorley, Tony Twist. McSorley was the one who was Gretzky's enforcer for years. The Penguins had an enforcer for Mario Lemieux named Jay Caulfield. Their job is to beat the crap out of anybody that messes with the Star. Bissonnette was the enforcer for the staff at Houston's. And for one thing, it's just fun to hear Canadians talk, and then there's the story that goes along with it.
What's up, gang? Just wanted to pop by because the news is out there and I'm getting a lot of texts and calls. Love you guys. Thank you guys all for reaching out and checking in. I just want to kind of address what happened last night so you hear it from my mouth. Long of the gist of it, and I address the whole thing and talk way more in detail on tomorrow's Spit and Chicklets podcast. Like, I go to dinner at this place called Houston's. I go there like 3-4 times a week. The staff's incredible, the food's incredible, and just like good people, and I love going there. And at one point there was a bit of a ruckus going on in the bar. It was a bunch of drunk golfers. Things obviously continued to escalate. They asked one guy to leave. And then one guy kept getting in the manager's face, put his hands on him. And that went on for about probably 30, 45 seconds. And, you could tell he was a little shocked and surprised and stunned. And, it's a family restaurant. I don't think there was anybody in there who could go maybe like help him out. So I went over, I just grabbed the guy's arm that was on him. I said, sir, if you continue to harass and assault the staff, we're going to have problems. And then they just started chucking. So it escalated extremely quickly. I think it was 7 guys that I fought with throughout the course of the restaurant, all the way into the parking lot, over to CVS. Got taken down a couple times. I got booted in the head 3 times by the CVS. Luckily, I didn't get knocked out. Did go to the hospital, so that's probably what everybody's reading about. Just like bad dudes, way too drunk, and I don't know what else they had in their system, but just unacceptable behavior at a family restaurant just because they couldn't grab another cocktail and didn't want to hear no for an answer. And like I said, at that point, with the guy all over the manager, I just figured I'd had to go over. And so took some, gave more.
I've been to Houston's before. Not the one. Actually, I've been on one in Phoenix and a few others. It's a nice, classy establishment that will serve. They're not going to skimp on the drinks, right? So they must have done that for these guys who have been golfing all day long. It was 1-on-6, by the way. I can't imagine that 1-on-6 doesn't at least feel like 1-on-7, even if you're a guy like Bissonnette. That's taking on more than an entire hockey line. And did you hear the part where he was like, so they fought through the restaurant, all the way out of the restaurant into a CVS parking lot, 1-on-7. Or 1-on-6.
Be worried about the one that's being calm. You see how chill he was about telling that story? Like,
right.
Like just so calm. Yeah, no, I'm on his side. That's for sure.
I mean, that's a guy who had done this before, but in a situation where it's, look, I mean, when I grew up, fighting was accepted and even sort of in a way encouraged in the NHL. It hasn't been like that for a long time, but these are still guys that'll get into a fight every once in a while. And this is the wrong person to be messing around with. He played in 202 career games. He only scored 7 goals in his entire career. Like, his job was to beat the crap out of whoever messed around with either Pittsburgh's main star, the team that drafted him, or Phoenix. 202 games, 340 penalty minutes, and that's about a third of the amount of time that he actually spent on the ice. It's funny, I saw some of the stories referred to him as a former NHL star. He was not an NHL star. He was an NHL player who literally was paid to throw down or just throw the right kind of check. I'm on his side too. How couldn't you be? Because we've all been in these situations where there's somebody causing a major problem at a restaurant. And look, I'm not the person that's going to go up. My sarcasm and my sense of humor is not going to work at that point with 6 drunks. I'll get my ass kicked. So good on him. Good on him. And I think Houston's may deserve to give him a couple of extra meals.
Got a special set of skills, man. He sounded cooler and calmer than Liam Neeson in Taken did. Like, he was super cool talking about that.
That's exactly right. You know, a special set of skills is to fight on ice.
Man.
These are the toughest. I think they really are. Like it's not a value judgment or anything. It's just like they do all of what they do on skates, which includes fighting and includes
their core strength has got to be unbelievable.
Well, yeah, the ability to skate to be skating forwards at full speed, and then all of a sudden to be able to switch to making it go backwards and it's not even a problem, and then brace yourself or deliver a check into the boards at that moment. You know, it's like put anybody else on ice. Football players, boxers, UFC fighters, what is this going to look like? Take them off the skates, put them in a restaurant, 1-on-6. Did you see the photos of these guys? They were arrested. He wanted their names out there, and the names and the mug shots are out there. I've got a link on our rundown here. These guys took the worst of it. Now, he might have gotten, in his terminology, boot effed in the face a couple of times, and you can tell there's a couple of bruises on him, but hey, he's the host of Spittin' Chicklets, so I think he has spat some chiclets before. These other guys, they got the worst of it. They absolutely got the worst of it. There's a couple of older guys, there's a couple of younger guys, and then two that look like they're more middle-aged, and every one of them, it's a mugshot in the Phoenix Police Department, the Scottsdale Police Department, and it looks to me like they knew they got their butts kicked, and they know that they probably spent a little time in the slammer, and now their names are out there. And it'll be just a little more embarrassing for them to be 1-on-6, and they took the worst of it.
In the slammer, like MC Hammer. Did he go to jail? Well, he was really close to, or he should have.
Good on Paul Bissonnette. I saw some good fights in the NHL. I never saw 1-on-5 or 1-on-6, but I saw 6-on-6. I saw 7-on-7 at times, and I haven't seen a knockdown, drag-out brawl in a restaurant the way that this went. But I could just imagine what it would look like, following them going from the bar where he was eating all the way through the main dining room, which, again, Houston's is a nice place. It's not like they were going to, Chili's or this wasn't a fast food place. This was pretty close to fine-ish dining, and the decorations to go along with it, low lights, a lot of glass dividers and everything. You could just picture all the punches being thrown through the bar, all the way through the dining room, over to the hostess stand, and then just break through the glass, and you end up out in a parking lot of a CVS, where it helps that there's a lot of ibuprofen on display for them. So who knows? Maybe some of this ends up going down at Thanksgiving tomorrow. This just reminds me of some of these old players I remember watching. Who remembers watching Ty Domi? He was one of the all-time enforcers. McSorley, he was so connected to Gretzky that when Gretzky got traded from Edmonton to the Kings, McSorley went with him. They were a package deal. Bob Probert with the Red Wings, Tony Twist, Donald Brashear, some of these, Joey Kocur. Yep. It's one of the reasons I miss being a hockey fan, and one of the other reasons is to like listening to guys like this talk. They all sound like that too, Matt. Like post-game hockey, NHL press conferences, they all sound like that. He's from Welland, Ontario. It almost sounded like he was just in the locker room being interviewed by Barry Melrose or somebody. Tell me about the fight you had on the ice with McSorley. What was that like? I love hearing Canadians speak, though. It really is. It's one of those accents that never gets old, especially when it comes to talking about fights. Also won't get old if you get over to Wood Power Sports. If you're looking for a side-by-side, a motorcycle, an ATV, or zero-turn mower, there are 3 convenient locations for Wood Power Sports: Harrison, Springdale, and Fayetteville. There are over 9 brands to choose from. If you think of it, they've probably got it. Kawasaki, CF Moto, Hustler, just to name 3. And there are 3 convenient locations providing outstanding service and parts capabilities, plus deliveries. You can learn more at woodpowersports.com. Wood Power Sports is a solid name you can trust. 877-377-6963 to get with us on halftime. Back to wrap up hour number 1 right after this.
Baseball, movies, good clothes, fast cars, whiskey, and you.
This is halftime.
Whether you're fishing for coldwater bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This Rogue suspends so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel, 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
You never know what you will walk up on or find over the hill at the Tackle Box. For almost 50 years, the Tackle Box has been your home for hunting and fishing supplies and some of the best outdoor stories. Whether guns, ammo, fishing supplies, or home decor, come back and see them again. They even buy your old fishing tackle or guns. The Tackle Box, your sports store for hunting, fishing, firearms, and more. 3010 Street, Fort Smith, 646-3193.
The adventure starts at the Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
Finding your joy in cycling is the main goal at Champion Cycling. Champion Cycling takes pride in helping you find the right bike. Whether it's a road bike, mountain bike, or just a bike for leisure, Champion Cycling has a great selection of bikes, including brands like Specialized Surly and Salsa. Need service or repair? The friendly, professionally trained technicians will assess your bike's needs and provide you with a free, no-obligation estimate. Find your joy in cycling at Champion Cycling, 5500 Mazur Road in Fort Smith.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for a limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There must be some kind of way here, said a joker to the thief. There's too much confusion, I can't get no relief. Businessman there, drink my wine. Plowman, take my herb. None will ever on the line. Nobody up in this world. Hey.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Bill Nye, Bruce Lee, Jimi Hendrix, Jaleel White would be the most famous people that were born on this day, November the 27th. Hence you hear.
And Grace
Hendrix.
Ann and Stephanie Jones, my twin sisters. Happy birthday.
Ah.
Yeah, they're 39. So sorry, girls, I told your age, but I told them it's their last year in their youth.
Oh, youth is all in your mind.
Exactly,
I've met
exactly.
one of them, and she's still very, very young.
Oh, they're gangsters.
So are you, Matt. You're younger than they are, even though you're older than they are.
I like it when you lie to me. We almost made it the whole show.
That's right. Sports birthdays, Don Strock. Remember, he came in with FIU last year as the head coach. Ken O'Brien, former Jets quarterback. Pudge Rodriguez.
Ken O'Brien was a coach when I was at Jacksonville, Phil. My first year there, he was the quarterback coach for Byron Leftwich, so I was around him for a little bit. And you know how if they're not making fun of you, they don't like you. And so Ken O'Brien did I don't know, like a legs fold out thing, or he did one of those like short shorts where in his picture when he was the quarterback for the Bengals, I remember they brought that up there. He was
Like the gym teacher shorts that I remember?
Yeah, one of those things, but it was definitely a goofy thing. And it's like, well, if they're going to give you $1,500, then.
How about this one for 1971? 3 players that we all know. 2 of them are Hall of Famers. Pudge Rodriguez and Larry Allen, the Hall of Fame tackle for the Cowboys, and Nick Van Exel. Remember Van Exel was with the Lakers.
Number 31.
Right, he was one of their better players in the time between Showtime and the Kobe Shaq Lakers.
Him and Eddie Jones were in the backcourt there together. Nick Van Exel, he was like Skip to my Lou before that. Dude was an assassin, man. I loved his game.
I remember watching him at the University of Cincinnati. Point guard for Cincinnati. It was a lot of fun to watch. Martin Gramatica, born today. Great kicker. Is he the Gramatica that injured his knee on the celebration, or was it the brother Bill that did that?
I get him confused. I think it was when he was at Tampa. I thought it was Martine was at Tampa.
And then Jimmy Rollins, Hall of Fame shortstop for the Phillies. Or I think he's in. Is he? I think he is in the Hall of Fame by now. I can't remember everybody that's in and is not as I continue to get older and can't figure it all out. But speaking of some things like that, I was looking at the finalists for the college football award shows, and there really aren't a lot of SEC players on these lists. You don't have anybody for the Bednarik. You don't have anybody for the Biletnikoff. Kentucky's punter is a finalist for the Groza. Georgia's punter is also a finalist for the Ray Guy Award. I said place kick. I meant place kicker for Kentucky. So you got punters there. You have nobody on the Maxwell list. Nobody on the Davey O'Brien Quarterback Award. You got linemen on the Outland Trophy, Walter Nolan of Ole Miss. You got a couple of defensive backs for the Thorpe Award in Jahdae Barron and Malachi Starks. No Travis Hunter there, but he is a finalist for the Biletnikoff. And then nobody is a finalist for the Doak, for the running back award. It's interesting to look at that. We've had so many Heismans come through the SEC, especially in the last 12, 13 years. These are the precursors to that. To not have a finalist for the Defensive Player of the Year, for the Wide Receiver of the Year, for the Quarterback of the Year, or the Player of the Year. Interesting.
(479-646-0706). That's River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Catch your wife kissing Santa Claus, whose real name is Bobby from down the street? Want to know your rights in a divorce, custody, child support case? I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Call me today to discuss your options. Start the new year off with a new lease on life for you, and let Santa have her. Mock Legal Solutions, 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. The merger of two good companies brings together strengths to make one great company. Regerson is now Sharp Equipment. Even though it will no longer have Joe, Jesse, or Sheila as they go off on another adventure, the foundation they have laid is now a strong asset along with Sharp Equipment to complement its offerings to their great customers. Sharp Equipment would like to thank the Taylors and look forward to continuing to serve the River Valley and beyond. Stop in at 5608 Wheeler Avenue and see what all Sharp Equipment has to offer.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, an increase in the cloud cover. High temperatures this afternoon, upper 50s north, upper 60s south. We may see an isolated rain shower or two tonight. Overnight lows will drop down mid-30s north, low 40s south. And then an increase in the sunshine on Thanksgiving Day. Highs mid-40s north, low 50s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, ready to serve. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
You sound like a participation trophy, Dad.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Judge, not take it to the dump.
You both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad we showed them at halftime.
What they even one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Turn it.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
And welcome back into halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, my partner. Christian Johnston is in the studios as well. We'll be welcoming in Clay Henry, the one and only Hall of Famer, in just a moment. Matt, we brought this up yesterday and kind of wondered what would happen pretty soon. The Vikings are signing Daniel Jones to now I guess as a third string. I don't remember who the backup is for Darnold, but he was
Darnold was the
initially.
backup. Yeah,
he was the backup, right? He was the initial backup, so now I guess he's the backup to the backup. I knew he'd get signed by somebody. I just don't imagine that he's just going to fall right out of the league immediately. I would say, though, if I was the Vikings, if there's an injury to Darnold, I'd be a little bit nervous because Jones just has been awful this year.
He just needs a change of scenery. That you think back to the Giants. I guess Eli Manning's had a little success, but even both the New York squads, just very limited success and, not the best run programs, organizations. I good for him to kind of get out of there and take a year off, take a redshirt year.
Bring on Clay Henry, who is, of course, a columnist at, you can read him in Whole Hog Sports, you can read him in the Democrat Gazette, and a very special contributor to hitthatline.com and Hit That Line Now app. Clay, it's always great to have you here on Halftime. Happy day before Thanksgiving. Some people call it Dranksgiving. I don't know what you call it.
Well, I call it get ready for the feast. I'm in charge of the meat, so I've got that.
You better be.
I've got it working, and I've got I've got 3 turkey breasts. They're all going to be cooked differently. They'll be cooked at the same time in a smoker, but they'll be cooked in different methods slightly. And then I've got 2 racks of ribs, and then the women folk have got all the other things going on, and I trust them on their end is always good. Mine is the one that, it's like I come in first sometimes I'm third or fourth place.
Well, I have been tasked with, well, first of all right, how many pounds of meat are you going to be making?
Let's see. So there's each one of those turkey breasts is about 3 pounds. So that's around 10 pounds of turkey breast, just the white meat. And then what is it? Maybe 4 pounds of ribs, 5 pounds. I don't know. Something like that. Yeah.
You can get a workout in just by lifting.
Let's see how many
food.
people we've got. Let's see. We've got 4, 5. We got 8 people. 8 or 9
people.
Yeah.
Well, so I've been
3
tasked
dogs.
now. I was told to figure out what you're going to make. So I figured out what I'm going to make, and we've got dietary restrictions for the Thanksgiving I'm going to tomorrow. My kid's grandmother keeps kosher, so we're not doing any pork products. We're not mixing meat and milk, so we can't have any dairy either. So that means I can't do what sometimes feels like a birthright in the South is to cook with butter. I've really leaned into that in recent years. Can't cook with butter. So I was going to make some Brussels sprouts. I'm kind of going to mix. I'm going to heat up full garlic in olive oil. I'm going to mix it together, and I'm going to cook the Brussels sprouts in the garlic olive oil, and it ought to work just fine. Throw in a little onion.
That's going to be in an air fryer?
No, that'll be on a cast iron skillet.
Okay.
I think it'll be okay. Yeah.
It'll be good.
The
air fryer is kind of the trend at our house. We have a couple of them, so you can do a lot of things with an air fryer.
I don't have an air fryer large enough for this.
That's a lot of Brussels sprouts, right?
Yeah, it's like 4 bags worth.
Ooh, that's a lot.
And then their mom brought over another bag of it because she thought maybe I wasn't going to buy enough because she knows what it's like to live with me. I never buy enough food for these sort of festivities. So she made sure I had enough.
How many are coming?
It's going to be 10 people.
10.
It's
Okay,
probably way
numbers.
It's too many. It's too many Brussels sprouts for 10 people.
Gene Ince says always cook enough meat for an army.
Well, you said you have less people than me. It's a you have a small army. Small army of people showing up.
Yes.
Charlie's an army of his own. He's called us here. You can call us. You can text us, 877-377-6969.
He's going to have tuna tomorrow.
No, he's not. 877-377-6963. Charlie, what are you doing tomorrow? And what are you doing today?
The one day out of the year I will not have tuna will be tomorrow. I will tell you guys that. No tuna on the list there. But I will say this. Phil, I was listening to you talk about the 1v6 butt kicking that those guys took. I will say this. Phil, I'm really sorry. I just don't. I want to feel sorry for those 6 guys that got their what's kicked. But I know. I'm being sarcastic. Let me finish because I am. They deserved it, and I don't feel sorry one bit. I'm glad that they got their names out there. I was thinking about the Malice in the Palace. And I don't condone any of that. But how hard would it be as an athlete when you're just sitting over there and some idiot is screaming out all those, whatever they were saying, and throwing beer on you? Like, how hard would it be not to go up there? They keep calling for you. Come on up here.
Yeah, but in that case, you have that simple divider of the railing and the dividing between fan and player. But it's like, I wonder what's going through Bissonnette's mind when he's seeing something that obviously shouldn't be happening at that moment. He said it took 30 to 45 seconds, and I just imagine he replayed this scenario in his head a little bit. Where are my exits? What do I need to worry about? Where are all the obstacles here? And it didn't take him all that long to figure it out. And then the instincts have to come back pretty quickly, because I don't think he'd played hockey. I don't think he's been in the NHL for like 5 or 6 years. So I don't know what his background is, but instincts take over at some point, and I think his hockey instincts took over, his enforcer instincts.
Well, it's just like what's that coach's name from Missouri? His first name Eli.
Ellie.
Look,
we're going to call him Ellie today.
Elijah or whatever. I could drink this anyway. What I'm saying, all I'm saying is, look, I am totally cool with the trash talk. I don't have any issue with it whatsoever. I actually love this. But here's the thing about tomorrow. If I'm looking at this, I'm not looking at this from the standpoint Taylor Green needs to go out there and play well. If I'm anybody on his team, oh, baby, I want me a piece of some Eli drink piss tomorrow, okay? Not drink piss, but his players, okay? And I'm taking it out on them. Now, I'm not saying you go out there and throw a bunch of punches and act a fool, but let the scoreboard do the talking Saturday when they play. I meant tomorrow. I'm so used to it. I'm thinking today's Thursday. Who knows? It's that darn Drinkwitz or whatever his name is. He's got my days mixed up. But if I'm his teammates, if I'm Taylor's teammates, I'm taking that with me to the field. And by the way, tomorrow, I am excited about Arkansas playing Illinois. This is what, Big Z versus Big Z? I know they're
Big
like
Z
truly
versus Big T.
Okay, I'm getting them wrong. But they're like identical, full-blown, right? So I'm excited to see this tomorrow. I want to see how that goes. Anyways, y'all have a good one.
Well, the roster's got them as different weight, at least 15 pounds. Maybe that has to do a little more with the weight training, the strength and conditioning programs at both schools. Who knows? But all right, Matt, I hadn't played this on the show yet. This is what Charlie is referring to. This is Drinkwitz yesterday at his press conference. He knows how to say the quarterback's name.
I may mispronounce his name, but Talon Green.
He really thinks he's very clever with this. I mean, it's smack talk. I get it. But it's also, I mean, fairly childish for it to be coming from the head coach of the team too. But then again, you just kind of expect this.
Worst belly in all of sports. I mean, his it's like you're not even trying. Like you can't. Like his belly doesn't match his body. It's like, bro, that's gross. Like somebody's got to tell you how gross that looks.
It's just like the look on his face when he said this. I think he realized what I'm about to do here is moronic, is stupid, but I guess it plays into some sort of.
But I'm going to do it anyway.
But I also think it plays into his own personality that he appears to be proud of. I mean, this is the same coach that called out Chuck Barrett after the last time Arkansas played Missouri in Columbia. Literally called Chuck out on a television broadcast, which made no sense whatsoever. He's just a bizarre dude. Just a really bizarre, good coach. Don't get me wrong.
He made fun of Dan Mullen just before he got fired.
Well, and he was smack talking to Mississippi State late in the game last weekend, and this. It's even just the way he says it. I mean, he literally thinks that he's about to entertain people.
I may mispronounce his name, but Talon Green.
Who writes his material for him? It's not even it's not even funny. It's not even entertaining. Do the Missouri fans get a kick out of this, or do they cringe the way that we cringe, the way that you cringe? What he's doing here is he is basically making a joke out of your quarterback. He is making a joke out of your program. That's exactly what that is.
Yeah,
this game is important.
I call him Ellie.
Clay, Matt, I think this game is important for so many reasons. 7 wins is better than 5. 4-4 in the SEC isn't something that's happened too often here, and it's a heck of a lot better than 1-7. Better bowl game, a little more forward momentum going into the offseason. More than anything else, I just would like to have Drankwitz's tail between his legs as he limps off the field after Saturday without anything to say whatsoever, without anything that he thinks is clever or cute or to needle the Razorbacks. And then the fact of the matter is that this is nothing that Sam Pittman would ever do. You can have your opinions about Sam as head coach, but the way he handles other coaches, I think is great. He's not going to call them out. He's not going to call him drink piss or anything. I think that's what Eli would do in that case. So I don't know.
Well,
I don't think it's a good look for a head coach of a college football team.
If you want that to happen, Phil, the defense is going to have to show up. Like if our defense is going to have to play like our defense can play, and then Jackson and DeBinion both need 15 touches apiece. I mean, if you want that if that's a real possibility, that's the game. And 0 turnovers. That's kind of what you got to do. If the defense wants to tackle and they're ready to play, then let's go. Offense, run the ball, control it a little bit. Get back to DeBinion and number 22 getting 15-plus touches throughout the game. Those are our best players. Let them run the ball. And then nobody this year stopped Armstrong. So what makes you think that we're not going to get the ball to Armstrong when we have to? I think he's at least got to be second-team All-SEC. I know, Clay, we had talked about it. He doesn't have the touchdowns for some people to vote him up there. But I haven't seen a better one in the SEC. I haven't seen anybody stop him all year.
Well, and that's been with double coverage a lot. And sometimes it's been more than 2. And he still gets his catches. I mean, if it's close to him, he's going to get it. As good a hands as I've seen for an Arkansas receiver in a while. And he's shown that he's tough. He's gone over the middle. I mean, he's done all the right things to get people's attention, these all-conference teams. You just look at the school receiving charts.
You got to think he'll be in the Senior
Bowl. He's way
Bowl.
up there. Yeah, I think he's got a Senior Bowl invitation already, I think. So, yeah, he'll have his chance to work out in front of scouts and prove himself. And the ultimate will be what he runs at the Combine. And, Matt, I'm just repeating what you've said earlier. That's an important fact for receivers. What are the numbers? That's the number they want to kind of go with all the data that they have as far as his game tape. This game comes down to the line of scrimmage. It's not any different than any other game. And you talk about how many touches this guy needs. Well, if the offensive line is controlling tempo, you can get the touches as far as the running game. But if it's 0 and 1 and -1 and 1, then it becomes kind of fruitless to keep doing that. So these guys have got to block a little better. Tight ends have to block a little better, and I think they can. I don't think this is quite as good of a defense at Missouri this year. They're not at the level that they were. They were a championship level defense last year. New coordinator, they lost some guys in the defensive line. They're not quite as stout there, so you can get some. When I watched the South Carolina game, that they were a defense that you could scheme and do some things against. That they weren't in control of that game, and that gives me a lot of encouragement for what Arkansas can do Saturday.
Take a call from William, who's dialed us up from Hot Springs. Good afternoon, William. How you doing today?
Doing good. How about y'all?
Good, thank you.
So I got a question for you, Joe. How many times do you think Eli Drinkwitz in his whole life, someone mispronounced his name or mocked his name, cut a joke on behalf of his name? Anybody I could think of coaching ball, he would have the most healthy appreciation for mocking somebody's name. Don't tell me he didn't get up there and do that intentionally, right?
Of course,
it would be a tight. It would be a tight race between him and Hugh Freeze, of who has the most insecurities of any coach, anybody I've seen publicly. I hope we go up there and whip that twerp's hind end. Go Hogs, and y'all have a great Thanksgiving.
Of course he knew that he was mispronounced. This is one of the easiest names in college football to pronounce. If there was no Y in Taylor's name, maybe you'd have to put his name on the pronunciation list. But his name isn't on the pronunciation list for a very good reason. It's a really easy name. Now I see a lot of names that are difficult all throughout college baseball, all throughout college football and college basketball. Taylor Green is not one of them. So he knew exactly what he was doing. I mean, he thinks in this case he's trying to be, Mr. psychotic operation, or not psychotic, psychological
A
operation.
little pompous.
A little bit. That's right. And I think I think William's right. I mean, if you have a name like Drinkwitz, people are going to make fun of your name. So there should be an added level of respect to it. But I don't think he respects the opponents. I really don't.
I don't think he thinks they're going to lose to Arkansas. I think he thinks that Missouri's going to win by double digits. That was kind of the arrogant. That was kind of the way he was at. It's like he's not worried. It is like he's not even studying film on us.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head in that case. A coach that pokes the Razorback like that, pokes the bear like that, always. I guess every coach expects to win, but some are going to be a little classier about the way they go into the game on the opponent. So 877-377-6963 if you got any thoughts on that. We got Clay Henry with us throughout the entire show. Remember, Clay's appearances on ESPN Arkansas are brought to you by the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. The natural state is the natural place to hunt, but you got to make sure that you buy your Arkansas hunting license to take part in our state's time-honored tradition. It'll help ensure future generations enjoy the hunt as much as you do. You can buy your license at huntnatural.com. Halftime continues right after this quick break.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
This is Halftime.
Building warrior.
Physical toughness and physicality matter more now than ever before.
Competing for each other.
You can care about the kids and still win.
Upholding the high standard.
Whatever we do, we'll have good people who are driven and wired, knowing that there's an expectation here and not being afraid of it.
This is one of those Razorback moments. Follow John Calipari in Arkansas on the hardwood all season long.
Right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
To $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Remember the classic Massey Ferguson tractors, straightforward, dependable, tough as nails, and easy to run? It's those classic models that inspired the Massey Ferguson 2600H series, as durable and reliable as the classics, with up to 74 horsepower and more comfort so you can work harder. The Massey Ferguson 2600H series. It's everything you want and need in a tractor. See one at Bush Machine and Tractor Company or visit bushtractor.com to learn more.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Even though the holidays are almost here, there is still time to get results for your body with a personal trainer right here in the River Valley from Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill. Your choice for the results you want. Black Friday buy one, get one personal training specials. And new members get the rest of the year for free. Even more Black Friday specials to choose from. Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill on 71 North. Ask about our giveaway from our partner, First Form and Vortex Optics. Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill, ready to help you train for the body you deserve. Anytime Fitness, Rye Hill.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Billy, can I ask you a question?
You just did.
Seriously, we are getting a lot of positive comments about you. What's your secret?
Oh, I just follow the 4 W's.
4 W's? Aren't there 5? 5? Yeah. What, where, when, why, and who?
Wes, who starts with an H?
That's how.
I don't know how. It just does.
No, who starts with a W?
You sure?
Positive.
Anywho, my 4 W's are, what would Wes want? I picture every customer like there's you asking for something. What you want is what they want. What would Wes want? W, 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 4 W's. Makes 8 U's.
Huh?
Treat customers like you, and it doubles the people. Pretty simple the way I see it.
4 W's. What would Wes want? Billy, you're brilliant.
Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Man, the singer there, Matt, sounded like my stomach tomorrow at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Maynard James Keenan?
Well, it's just very, very mumbly, very low level, sort of like just grumbling, just working hard a little bit to try to just work through all the chemicals and juices in my stomach at that point. We're doing it at 4 o'clock tomorrow. I feel like I'd rather do it at 1 o'clock, but it's not my house, so I don't have a choice in this. What time is tip-off tomorrow? Because it's after
3.
It's after the CBS game, so 3 o'clock, so I'll have to ask them to put the game on.
So we set ours.
Where we're going though, they don't have YouTube TV, so I get to bring an iPad with me. That'll be fun. I'll just stick it right there on the table and watch while I'm eating. That's not rude.
I think it is. I think that concept is rude. You can pull it off. I mean, it just depends on how much swagger you have in the family.
Well, so all right, there's a different way to do it then. I can just put the iPad on a ledge where it is visible for me. It won't be on the table, though, because at that point, I will have watched an hour of the game. You know, it's not like I'm not pausing it and then finishing it after that. So they're gonna have to make an adjustment for me in this case instead of the other way around.
I'll never forget Thanksgiving dinner at my dad's house. He had remarried. My stepmother had multiple daughters, and all of them strong-willed, and they had one brother. I think there were 3 or 4 women at that point. And me and Kirby went in a back room and turned on the Cowboys and the Lions, Thanksgiving Day. There's nothing going on. This is the prelim. The dinner is still, an hour or 2 away. And one of the sisters came in and turned off the TV and said, y'all will join the conversation in the main room.
Yikes. You're supposed to have options in this case.
The TV immediately was turned back on, and we said, you can leave the room.
Way to stand up for yourself and your cohorts. Because how can you actually be asked to turn off football on Thanksgiving?
Well, she turned it off. We weren't asked to. Yeah. We were told to go in another room, but we didn't do it.
The other thing you got to make sure
I think
you do
there was
tomorrow.
someone had a conversation with my father, and he kind of rectified the situation, and so it didn't happen again.
So we used to do Thanksgiving at my aunt's in Boston. I always associate Boston with Thanksgiving, which works for the story too. And my aunt and uncle, like, she watches 3 college football games every Saturday. She'll watch 3 NFL games on Sunday. She loves it. They were never going to ask us or force anybody to turn off the TV. It's just back then when we would go to their house, they were one of the late arrivals to ESPN and any sort of cable. They only did the basic 4 channels, so it was ever on those, which I guess ESPN doesn't show NFL games on Thursday on Thanksgiving anyway, so it's not a problem.
You had Fox and CBS, yeah.
That's right. Gonna make sure you prime the pump tomorrow too. Like you can't just starve yourself throughout the morning and the afternoon and expect to stuff yourself perfectly the way that you should at 4 o'clock. So it's gonna be a little bit sort of strategic with my plan for tomorrow. Sleeping in past 8. That's actually has to happen. I'm gonna force myself to stay under the covers until 8 o'clock. It might not be very comfortable because I'll probably be awake for the last 90 minutes of that, but I'm not getting out of bed until at least 8:01. Make sure you eat a little bit so that I can stuff myself while I'm also cooking the Brussels sprouts I'll be making. I'll eat a couple of those here and there. And I guess I'll just be a little worried about being exhausted by the time I even get over there, and I don't have the energy to eat. But I'll have the energy to watch football, basketball. What do you think about this game tomorrow? It's, you think of the idea of like quality wins and how that conversation has happened for college football recently. Arkansas doesn't have what you would say yet would be a quality win against a major opponent. You get a chance here against a team that's really good, that is built somewhat like you'll see in the SEC, rugged. It's not just Big T, but they've got, they got 2 legitimate power forwards. They can score, they can rebound, they can defend, and man, I guess I wonder about Arkansas's ability to handle their size tomorrow. If 8, and I would imagine even if he's available to play, he's still kind of a shadow of what he can be, Jonas Adu. So just facing that kind of, the way that Illinois is built, it makes me think it could be a tough one for Arkansas tomorrow.
Well, you'd like to maybe get 5 minutes in each half out from him, and that'll really help the rest of the guys for the last 10 minutes of the game if they're getting proper rest. And I think there's been some games where not many free throws have been shot, and that's taxing for them. Free throws help you make it to the end of the game with some fresh legs. And that's a 40-second rest, 30-second rest, whatever it is. By the time they get organized and get the free throw shot, there's a little bit of a break there. And there's been some games and not many fouls have been called. And it's you can tell that's tough for their guards because they are playing high pressure, intense defense, and that's what I like about what I've seen so far. But they need some more bodies. They need some more minutes inside the post, and they need a low post presence. And he's the only guy on this team that I see that really happening. Big Z. He'll go down there at times, and if he's got a mismatch, if there's a weakness with the other team, he can punish them inside and knows what to do. But they really need Adu's mid-range and low post game. He's got both. He's got a mid-range game, 12 to 15 foot. He's pretty deadly. I don't think he's a three-point shooter. I think he wanted to be last year, and I don't think Rick Barnes, from what I'm talking to some Tennessee folks, that was one of the things that he asked to do is move out on the floor a little bit, because he knows at the next level, that'll be part of what they ask from him. But I like this team. I like what they can do on defense. I like their attitude. And they, despite our worries in the first 2 exhibition games and maybe the first half of the Baylor game, I think they're really good three-point shooters, Phil.
I'm looking at Illinois, and they also have an 8-player rotation. I mean, it's pretty much the same as Arkansas. It's just everybody's healthy there. The way that they were practicing in the offseason is the way that they are playing now, and the way they were practicing in October and before, and even now. I mean, that's the thing that you can't get away from the Razorbacks. It's you have the same amount of players that you think are going to be in that rotation, but 2 to 3 of them are not either playing or they're not the same. I guess that's one of the things you got to take from the Monday game, Clay, is that at least Nelly Davis shot well from the outside. And I don't know a lot of things you can take from the UMass game, but Davis's shot is one that I'd like to take from there because, so much talk about how the big guys have been hurt and what that's doing to him. But Davis has not been the player that he was at FAU, and I think it's an injury more than anything else that's leading to it. So to see him shoot well Monday is at least a heartening aspect of that game.
So I think we've just seen this team operate at about 60%. I think there's a game. They're great talents, incredibly high-end players that I think where they are in March will be completely different than where they are right now. And they've been given some freedom to play through some things so far. Coach Cal doesn't look like he's put his thumb down and said, no, you can't shoot that shot. Well, I want to see you do that. He wants to see Richmond attack. But they both are willing defenders, and that's what will keep them, especially Richmond. I think he gets minutes because of the effort he plays with on defense, but I think there's some offensive game there too.
Getting into a big arena too at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. I've been around it on the outside.
Nice place.
Never been on the inside. Isn't the College Basketball Hall of Fame connected to this?
It's
arena?
There close, yeah. I have not seen, that's where they play the Big 12 tournament, and that's really their marquee event other than concerts. I saw I guess it was the Brooks and Dunn concert there, and there's a lot of things around that arena. There's good restaurants, high-end restaurants, steak places. It's a fun place to be. And I think Arkansas fans will enjoy being there.
It looks like there are some tickets available, not far from courtside, $88 on SeatGeek. So there are some seats available, but it also looks like they'll have a pretty good crowd. And I remember when this building was opened, or at least was in the planning stage, they were hoping to get a hockey team there. Never got the hockey team. Lost their NBA team to Sacramento, and it's kind of odd to think about Kansas City as a two-sport town, but it is. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts. We should say three sports because they do support the MLS team pretty heavily up there.
Soccer, they have a stadium pretty close there that they play professional women's soccer. That's a nice play. I know that's a stretch saying it would be a four sport, but yeah, the MLS program there, and that's really in Kansas though. It's way out west, and they have a huge speedway. A big NASCAR track.
Halftime is brought to you by the Stadium Shop. It is right next to Baum-Walker Stadium on Razorback. If you don't have everything you need to be a Razorback fan, they've got it for you right there. Your tailgating needs, your game day, man cave decorations, anything in the dorm room, you won't find any place more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Call 479-STADIUM or go to shoponrazorback.com or just stop by their Stadium Shop on Razorback Road right next to Baum-Walker Stadium. You can also call and text halftime at 877-377-6963. More right after the break.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Hey, Arkansas. Are you feeling lucky? Because the Lotto jackpot is seriously over $4 million right now. A jackpot this high won't last long, and this one is only one in Arkansas. Some lucky player could be buying the winning ticket right now. Play twice a week for your chance at a life-changing jackpot. Tickets start at only $2. Don't miss Lotto, only in Arkansas. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
This is Halftime.
Adventure Oklahoma by Auto Finders is your one-stop shop for adventure. Plus, no one else includes a standard 5-year warranty on all ATVs. Right now, it's the Segway Season of Savings event going on. You can choose between 0.99% financing for 36 months or up to $3,000 off select UTV models in stock with payments as low as $199 per month. This offer ends soon. High-tech power sports and affordability for all adventure enthusiasts. Segway. Fear no place. Visit Adventure Oklahoma in Roland. Brought to you by Auto Finders, AutoFindersOK.com. Adventure Dave says your journey starts here.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
At Our Best Bank, we believe in the power of community. That's why we recognize, serve, and support communities of all kinds. From small towns to big cities, business startups to large companies, young families to seniors, and those with shared backgrounds and interests. We value your contributions and are proud to work alongside you because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Our Best Bank. We believe.
The best things never change, they just get better. Like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Choose from juicy charbroiled double cheeseburgers, melty hot ham and cheeses, or hand-breaded chicken tender wraps. 2 full-size favorites plus fries and a drink, all just $6.99. There's no skimping in this bag. No junior burgers or tiny nuggies, just full-size goodness for big-time value. The $6.99 Original Bag, only at Hardee's. These items only, tax not included. Price and participation may vary.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The stars may shine a bright. The clouds may be black. But when you smile, oh, how I feel so good that I can hardly wait to hold you. Never enough, render your heart to me.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
And Hall of Famer Clay Henry is with us as well. You can read
direction. I know we've talked about this before, but I really like our 2 deep before the portal's about to open up. And if you can keep most of these guys here, and the words they're saying is like they feel confident about it. You know, you got your OC and DC coming back, you got your quarterback coming back, you got your linebacker core coming back. Can you go? You got to replace Landon Jackson. You know, we know what you got to replace Landon Jackson. You got to go get another running back. Got to find a receiver that can be your X, that can be your man beater at any time. Got to get a strong safety. You know, can you go get a McLaughlin? Is there somebody we're missing him this year? You know, you kind of got to get a cornerback that can cover, and if you can, at least if you got one, you know, you can do something. You can half field stuff up. You can do a lot of different things on a schematically. If you got somebody that you know, hey man, I can put him on him, and we know that's not going to hurt us.
Yeah, the guy that they really missed this year, and I get it on McLaughlin, but you weren't going to have him back, is Braxton. And he was a guy that could lock down, you know, one side of the field at cornerback. He's an elite cornerback and was made plays. I mean, he got you turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're missing in the secondary. They just don't get the turnovers. They don't get their, you know, they don't do that, you know, honey badger type stuff. Knock the ball loose, you know, on a tackle, get your hands on the ball in the air, you know, come down with it. You know, like there were chances for about 3 turnovers in the Texas game. I was not impressed with Quinn Ewers, and he hung it up there some, made some decisions that, you know, you got to pounce on those.
Weren't there about three passes where either
His first one,
Story or
his
a couple
very
others
first
got two
pass,
hands
he floated
on the
it.
ball?
His
floated
first
it.
pass, we had a linebacker get 2 hands, and it just could have totally changed. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was another one, you know, in the I guess that would be the northeast corner of the end zone. Another one to the, you know, the southeast that were floated. You got to get those. No one went right by Xavier Sorey, you know, tight end. You know, it just went right by his ear. I mean, it's just like you turn and you got to catch that one. So those are the things that this defense hasn't done in that would change the complexion of games. When you can when you can take away the ball, not giveaways, but takeaways, and that's what Braxton to me was. They didn't, you know, they got 2 games out of him, really a game and a half, and I don't know that he's going to play the rest of the way. It's some kind of a knee leg injury. And so, you know, will he be back next year? Probably. We'll you know, got a chance to get him healthy, but he's a difference maker in the secondary that they haven't had. And I give, you know, Hudson Clark credit for stripping the ball away against Texas. It just, you know, you got the wrong bounce. But those are the kind of plays that they're missing. They as far as your question, Phil, would it be a successful season? I go back to the Oklahoma State game, and that's the one that just keeps eating at me, that they just gave away.
Yeah, you'd already look at it as 3 more wins.
And didn't know how good Oklahoma State was at the time. It turned out that was a game or team you should have beaten, and really outplayed for the bulk of the game, and then lost it in overtime. So that's a tough one looking back. But, you know, conference play, since Arkansas came into the SEC in '92, there have been 13 times, that's less than half, where you've gotten to 4-4, and seldom have you done better than 4-4. So this is a chance to have a 4-4 season in the SEC. That's not bad. You know, does that make you want to dance? You know, a little happy jig? Probably not. But it's still better than most Arkansas teams have done.
4-4. You just said it right there. 4-4 conference play, man. That's a step in the right direction.
And when you look at the 8 games they played, the 8 teams they played, really tough schedule. There's not very many teams in the country. You know, and I look around and I see Boise State. Could they go 4-4 in the SEC? Probably not. And yet people are talking about them as being in the 12-team playoff. That's what's sad about where we are in college football. And, you know, I watched these teams. I watched Indiana. Line of scrimmage, they'd get whipped in the SEC. They would not. They wouldn't win 10 games.
Well, it's also the idea here, and I don't mean this as any insult on Boise State, but to get a bye in these playoffs out of the Mountain West Conference, what are we doing here? I mean, I like the idea. Initially, I thought it would make sense to have the conference champions get a bye, put a premium on that conference championship game, but
until you see it play out,
yeah, and then you see it play out, and you're like, well, look at the number 5 seed Ohio State, they'd rather be the 5 seed than they would maybe even win the conference championship game, because then you get an easier game in the quarterfinal. It's just so. I mean, you got to find a way
They
to
can fix
the
it.
thing.
Yeah,
And
they can
will.
fix it.
But I think next year you have the same. I guess you can go in and change the rules if you don't like the way they are. Who knows? But as it stands now, next year it's the same format.
Well, you're going to hear huge complaints from the Big Ten and the SEC commissioners, and they'll take their ball and go somewhere else if they don't fix it. They're not going to stand pat with this, Phil.
It ended just being a Red Rover game between the SEC and the Big Ten.
That's another reason why I don't think SEC will go to a 9-game schedule, because then you have another chance for another L. But I could see them having some type of cross-conference schedule where, like you had this SEC ACC basketball challenge. You could have an SEC Big Ten challenge.
So then
bring Indiana or Illinois, bring them.
Yeah,
to Fayetteville.
you go, and it's based on your seedings from the year before. Whoever finishes first, you play the 1 seed. It's kind of like what the NFL does when they do their cross division opponents. That you play one plays 1, 2 plays 2.
The committee would have a choice, and I mean, you still have 2 more rankings to do here. But the way that it plays out now, based on these rankings today, you would have an SEC game and a Big Ten game in the first round. Tennessee at Georgia, Indiana at Penn State. Like I really don't like the idea of 2 conference teams in the first game. When all it would take is just one tweak. Put Georgia to 7, put Notre Dame to 8, you get a completely different game. Notre Dame is still playing at home, but against a team that's ranked a little better. But come on. I mean, we really have to have SEC against SEC, Big Ten against Big Ten. Albeit we've already seen Georgia and Tennessee before. Indiana and Penn State have not played this year. Maybe they should have. You know what else we have to make sure we do? Remind you about the Clay Maxi Auto Group. Their promise is a level of service that maximizes your drive at every step in your car ownership experience. They also believe in serving their hometown communities, Harrison, Mountain Home, Clinton, Berryville, and all the surrounding towns through local partnerships, events, and programs. They make sure that they support the growth and well-being of the areas they serve. That's the Clay Maxi Auto Group. They ask for the opportunity to maximize your drive today, and you can visit them online at claymaxiautogroup.com. Back to wrap up hour number 2 of Halftime right after this.
What we do is if we need that extra push over the cliff, you know what we do?
Put it up to
11, exactly.
This is Halftime.
This is Ty from ESPN Arkansas. Join me Wednesday, November 27th from 4 to 6 p.m. at Square Pie Pizza Company inside Choctaw Casino. But I'm not the main draw. This Saturday, November 30th at 2:30, Arkansas legend Darren McFadden will be at Square Pie Pizza Company. Don't miss your chance to meet this Arkansas Razorback and Dallas Cowboy legend. Come out and enjoy the very best Detroit-style pizza, hoagies, and delicious appetizers. Choctaw Casino. This is how Pensacola plays.
Black Friday Christmas shopping season is underway at Jelco Outdoors now through Saturday. All regular price clothing, 25% off this week. Work clothing, casual clothing, Western clothing, hunting clothing, and fishing clothing. Men's, women's, and children. If it's clothing, it's 25% off this week at Jelco. All Yeti and Yukon Outfitter ice chests, coolers, tumblers, and cups save 25% off this week. Don't miss the Black Friday sale week at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Over the river and through the woods, to Salisaw we go. Mock Legal Solutions is opening a second location to serve our Eastern Oklahoma clients. 105 East Chickasaw. For divorce and custody, let us give you the Christmas gift of a new start. And for personal injury, we will get you a settlement check when Grandma gets run over by that reindeer. 918-238-2363. Or check out our website at mocklegalsolutions.com. Free intakes and payment plans available. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Does it feel to be one of the beautiful people? Now that you know who you are, what do you want to be? Have you traveled?
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
All right, I guess you're supposed to start like Christmas shopping after Thanksgiving, right? Clay, how much you do all your shopping online now? Because that's the direction I try to go, but every once in a while I find myself inside a store thinking about gifts. But man, it's so much easier to just say, you know what? All those baseball T-shirts I wear, that's what you guys are getting this holiday season, because it's what I'm going to buy myself.
Well, I guess sort of, but you got to remember I work at a fly shop. And I guess that stuff's ordered online, but I work through Drew, the fly shop owner, and she gets me what I want. Now, as far as that's for other people. They're not everybody in my family would want something from the fly shop, so there has to be some give and take there. But Jean Ann does the Christmas shopping. I mean, I have to get something for her. That's the extent of it.
Lucky man.
And I know that buying stuff for her is problematic. You're better off getting her a gift certificate at the local spa. I mean, that's what she'd really want.
Yeah, never want those gifts you get to be returned, because that's happened. It's happened before. Yeah. I need your shirt sizes, by the way, guys. Matt, what's your T-shirt size? Are you an XL? Are you a double X?
It's like an XL tall. So like if you're
very tall,
it's an XL, but sometimes it's a double X. But sometimes it's too wide. It's an XL. This is just an XL.
Clay, what about you?
XL.
XL. All right, good, because you guys are gonna get something.
Hey, just make sure it's not in burnt orange.
Oops. I do have a couple of those T-shirts that I'd say are orange. San Francisco Seals. It's not burnt orange, though. But none of us like any of the orange. We complain about the Tennessee orange, too, so maybe I have to return that thing. You guys will like what you're getting. Pretty sure you're going to like what you're getting. Matt, you don't have to get anything from me because you give me anything. You give me something every time I show up in the studio.
That's 1 in the first hour, and that's 2 in the second hour. We're going to go for the trifecta in the third. I love it.
So this is the golden hour this week.
It's been 3 hours. It's been 2 golden hours for now. This is actually just going to continue what we've been doing. So welcome into it, Clay. 877-377-6963 as we get into our final hour of the week. Stay with us.
Ty Richardson, we're at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith. Lindsay, what's going on this month?
We have the new Kawasaki Ridge side-by-sides in stock. Most of them have a full cab with heat and air. They have a 1000cc inline 4-cylinder engine. We also have new Kawasaki Brute Force 450s and 750s in stock. And we are stocked up for dirt bikes and ATVs for the holiday season. Come by and see us or visit WheelerPowersports.com.
Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
This is Ricky Young with Mr. Cabbage Head and the Screaming Radishes, vegetable-related rock for a healthier lifestyle. When we have any problem at all, we call 782-8940.
It's a great time to take advantage of York Factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products. Give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
At AOG, our main goal is to deliver reliable energy to your home safely. And keeping our team members, customers, and community safe starts with awareness. Natural gas has a distinctive, strong odor, often compared to rotten eggs or sulfur. If you smell gas, leave your home immediately. Go to a safe location and call 911 in addition to AOG. Remember, if you smell gas, act fast. And always call 811 before you dig. To learn more about natural gas safety, visit AOGC.com. AOG, energy for life.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, an increase in the cloud cover. High temperatures this afternoon, upper 50s north, upper 60s south. We may see an isolated rain shower or two tonight. Overnight lows will drop down mid-30s north, low 40s south. And then an increase in the sunshine on Thanksgiving Day. Highs mid-40s north, low 50s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell. Ready to serve. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that we respect it.
If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Bill said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad we showed them at halftime.
What they for one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Well, I can feel the freedom of the next couple of days creeping up here as we have our final hour of halftime for the week. Phil Elson here with Matt Jones and Hall of Famer Clay Henry with us for this last hour as well. You can join us, 877-377-6963. How many people are playing? Do people do one-on-one basketball Thanksgiving, or is it always a football thing? Does anybody go out and play tennis? Does anybody go out and run a race? Family 5K,
there's people
that kind
golfing
of thing?
today. I think if the weather's nice, you get out to the golf course.
It's nice enough. Well, we have a family get-together tomorrow at T-Mobile Arena in Kansas City. Big Z, Big T going up against each other. And Zvonimir Ivisic had himself a little bit of a Zoom earlier today with Arkansas media. This is Big Z talking about what it has been like when they played each other as kids.
I mean, we always played against each other one-on-one and stuff like that, but we haven't played one in a while. But, when we were kids, we were playing every day, one-on-one, just shooting or whatever, just having fun. I was beating his ass every time.
He even laughs when he says it. It took an extra moment. He laughed when he said it. I don't view this in the same way that I view, Eli Drinkwitz and Talon Green. Because this is a brother
It's
having
family.
fun with another brother. That's right. You expect this kind of a thing. It's good stuff.
Well, and he started to say Talon and then changed it that's the thing. It's like he started to say it the right way. You're like, wait a second. You pretend to be smart.
Well, if you were going to have a problem with a name, it would be Zvonimir's name or his brother Tomislav. Not this.
I may mispronounce his name, but Talon Green.
Just give him credit for at least he made it look like he actually was having trouble with it, with the added T at the start of Talon Green. Oh, my gosh. Freaking cornball. You can hear Colton in the background doing his best Christian Johnston hype man. Supposed to laugh in the background now, C45, but he's right. He's a freaking cornball. Do the Missouri fans like him? Do the Missouri fans love him?
They like winning. I bet you.
Yeah, I was going to say
Oh,
when
I
he's
tell you
taking them,
what.
he's
They
taking them
liked
to a
him.
point.
They liked him until Texas A&M kicked their ass like they did, and it was like, we're not going to the playoffs. And then there were two more. But there's a lot of people that were on social media that were like, why did we give this guy so much money? I mean, this was like the Brett Bielema, 101, like the same thing over again. It's like, we just overshot this thing. And that'll come back to roost again when Arkansas wins Saturday. I said win.
Clay, and we can talk some more about Arkansas, Missouri, but I actually like Texas A&M in this Texas matchup just because of what you talked about, their physicality and how they just kind of went at Missouri and made them like it. They have the defensive up front personnel that if they can get to the quarterback, don't give up a big play, they can make Texas like it for a little bit. I think Texas A&M has a real good chance to win this game.
Yeah, A&M doesn't have the same running back. And
Is that Moss, number 6? Oh,
Yeah,
he was a beast.
That game, it was his game. He ruled, and he made about 3 runs. Now, they blocked him. But this is
what I'm saying is Texas, if they show up and play their C- game, Texas A&M, if they play what they did against Arkansas, A&M will beat them.
A&M will beat them. You're right. Yeah, I think that's true. And the thing that Texas A&M has been an enigma, and that they've been going back and forth on quarterbacks. And if their quarterback struggles to start the game, they'll probably flip again in this game, because this game means so much. They'd be willing to bench that quarterback and go back to the passer.
I think of looking at Arkansas's opponent for Saturday in Mizzou, and man, I mean, they didn't have a fully healthy Brady Cook for the Alabama game. It's not like they would have – I don't know if they would have been able to make up the 34-point differential with Cook. That's the game, I think, more than anything that knocked them out of a potential playoff contender, even if they would have beaten South Carolina. Lose 34-0 it kind of makes it a little difficult to look
They didn't have
at somebody as a playoff team.
But when you don't have your quarterback, I think the committee kind of does look, because Brady Cook, I think, is a top 4 quarterback in the SEC. Like, if he's healthy and he's working, man, he can beat you both ways. I'm a big time Brady Cook fan, and that's that's what you're hoping Taylon Green can be next year. You hope Taylon Green can be Brady Cook next year.
The backup quarterback has thrown 1 more interception, 3, than Cook has all season, too, and Pine threw 3 in the Alabama game. It's pretty much what did them in. 64% completion rate for Cook. Well, what's Taylon Green at right now? Let me open this up.
He's
here.
at 60. He's at 60.1.
60, just under 61% completion. So that's better than it's been. I think he was in the 50s for a while.
So I wrote this week, but I talked to Scott Tabor, who was a high school quarterback, and then he pitched in AAA a little bit. He was a good minor league pitcher, had all of Arkansas's school records when he left at Arkansas in '82, and he said when they changed his slot, his throwing motion to make him over the top versus kind of sidearm 3/4, he said that was going to make him more accurate eventually. He said, but it's a conversion that takes time. There's part of it that you have to get comfortable in practice. Then you have to get comfortable in games where you trust it and you gain confidence. And it's a repetition thing. Memory takes when you change something, it takes a long time before it's comfortable. And golfers go through the same thing. A little bit of a change in your swing, and it's months. It's not days. And you can see that happening with Taylon, that he's gotten more comfortable. He's gotten more accurate. He's thrown it in a tight window more and more the last 3 or 4 games. In fact, the pass that he threw that was intercepted against Texas, I was like, well, that's ill-advised. There's 3 guys. And he put it right on the button, and Broden just didn't catch it. I mean, it was like through his hands. There was tip ball, but that's got to be caught. And he can put it in a tight window, and he couldn't at the start of the season. It would be wide. And it's the same thing. Scott Tabor says same thing with the pitcher. And you see guys that throw over the top, pitching coaches move them to more 3/4 because they're trying to get that movement, that side-to-side movement that you don't get when it's straight over the top. But he said that with the quarterback, you want it straight over the top because you are more accurate. And I think that he's going to be better next year than he is now.
I think sometimes also with Taylon, the instinct is to tuck and run at certain times. And, you can point to maybe not seeing an open receiver sometimes, reading defenses and things. I wonder if, and you touched on this too, Matt, it's like when his knee wasn't 100%, you think, well, this will force him to read things a little bit more and trust his throwing instincts more so than the running instincts. And I do wonder if he's your quarterback next year, or I fully anticipate that's the case. If your mechanics, if you're trusting in your mechanics, and it sounds like it's the kind of thing that's like a slow build throughout this year. If you trust in those mechanics when you get to next season, should be able to trust in your instincts as a quarterback a little bit more than just thinking about, well, first guy's closed, I got to get out of the pocket. And of course, the blocking's got something to do with it too. But it's I think sometimes the instincts are not necessarily as a throwing quarterback; it's as a running quarterback.
Yeah, he'll be more comfortable next year. And in that play that Clay's talking about, the outside receiver's wide open. It's like so next year, instead of trying to force something, which it was a heck of a throw, he put it right on the button. You just go, Coach.
Check it down.
One of the things Coach Lee told me, when your first guy's open, you pass it to him. And so that his outside read was open, but he went for the big play in the seam, and great throw, just didn't work out. You hope next year you're just more comfortable where, hey, when my first guy's open, let's throw it to him and make them make tackles. And then it's tough. Any young quarterback that gets sacked 4 times this game, the next week gets sacked 5 times, the next it is tough. So you do start kind of looking at, okay, well, I know a free rusher is probably going to let me use my legs because that is one of his greatest assets.
We have to kind of wonder a little bit too what he'll be like next year without his security blanket, and that's Armstrong.
Sure.
And that can be almost a bad crutch. You got to throw it.
You kind of feel like you need to get him the ball. Yeah.
You're just that's
like
where you're
KJ
going
and
with the
Burks.
ball. He's not going to have that crutch next year. He's going to have to spread it around, or he finds another crutch. But it's best that he does learn to go from one progression to the next. But the flip side to that is the protection has to be good enough that he's comfortable going to number 2 and number 3, because that takes more time. You got that clock ticking in your head, and okay, I'm at 2 or 3 and I need to have this ball gone, and so I'm going to force it into this first receiver instead of taking a little more time. But if he's got time, and I think that's what we saw in the Mississippi State game. He got comfortable because they gave him time, and all at once he's spreading it around. Against some of these other defenses, he hasn't been that comfortable.
877-377-6963 when you want to hit on any of that with us. And remember about Valley Family Dental, general dentistry, braces, implants, cosmetics, and now same-day crowns at Valley Family Dental. They'll provide every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman Farmer and Dr. Blaine Van Nice, making sure you leave with a better smile, you'll have a better life, and more confident, always comfortable every time at Valley Family Dental. You'll find them at 5901 Riley Farm Drive, Suite A. That's the entrance to Riley Farm off Highway 71 in Fort Smith, 226-3500, valleyfamilydentalpractice.com. Stay with Halftime. More after the break.
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
This is Halftime.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on Halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
November is the month for thankfulness, and all of us here at Crabtree RV Center in Alma are thankful for our loyal customers who voted us the best of the River Valley and the best of the best in 2024.
Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
November is the month for thankfulness, and all of us here at Crabtree RV Center in Alma are thankful for our loyal customers who voted us the best of the River Valley and the best of the best in 2024.
Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Do you want to do something unconventional this holiday season? Hey, Ty Richardson for Neumeyer's Rib Room and Beer Garden, where they are catering anything that they have on their menu at the Rib Room. Take advantage of incredible ribs, smoked wings, tamales, barbecue, and more. Call them at 479-494-7427. Stop in and see Joe, Linda, and their entire team at 424 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. The Neumeyers wish you a very happy Thanksgiving.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With the never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Catch your wife kissing Santa Claus, whose real name is Bobby from down the street? Want to know your rights in a divorce, custody, child support case? I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Call me today to discuss your options. Start the new year off with a new lease on life for you, and let Santa have her. Mock Legal Solutions, 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
Finding your joy in cycling is the main goal at Champion Cycling. Champion Cycling takes pride in helping you find the right bike. Whether it's a road bike, mountain bike, or just a bike for leisure, Champion Cycling has a great selection of bikes, including brands like Specialized Surly and Salsa. Need service or repair? The friendly, professionally trained technicians will assess your bike's needs and provide you with a free, no-obligation estimate. Find your joy in cycling at Champion Cycling, 5500 Mazur Road in Fort Smith.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Crazy question asking me. This is the craziest party that could ever be. Don't turn the lights, 'cause I don't want to see.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Time-honored tradition. Someone's always out there that can't stand turkey. Alyssa Lang from SEC Network might be at the top of the list.
I hate turkey.
Okay.
I think turkey is the worst main course meat that you could put on a table, Paul. Like I am of the opinion that just like a steak, people say, well, if it's a good steak, it shouldn't need any accoutrement. It shouldn't need a sauce. It shouldn't need A1. It shouldn't need. Why do we make the exception for turkey? You have to slather it with gravy for it to be good. People say, well, it'll be less dry if it's fried. I've had fried turkey too. It's not as good. I would rather put no guardrails on holiday food and have a ribeye. Fried rib.
We
ham.
A couple years ago, we started going to a pretty well-known steak place down, and you can order turkey or steak.
Steak. I'd rather do rib. I'd rather do a nice sea bass, maybe a salmon. I just don't. Why are we fixated on turkey? And the people who are turkey fans really, they go above and beyond to try to convince you that turkey's good.
I used to.
Yeah, and they came at her. They came at her too on social media after this yesterday. I did not realize the turkey lobby was that involved in people's opinions about this meat, which I can understand that, I guess. Is she not at a brined turkey? That's the thing. It's like that is one way to ensure that your turkey meat is not dry. I know some out there might be, can I use the term turkey purists? You're not supposed to have to brine a meat in order to make it palatable for people. I don't think that's a matter of that. I think it seasons it properly, and I think it works just fine. That's how I used to cook the turkey. I don't know if Alyssa's had a properly brined and then cooked turkey.
She's not welcome here.
It's that simple, isn't it?
I mean, she's expressed her her attitude. It's kind of like,
we're gonna watch the game. You can go back in the other room.
That's right. You got it, Matt. And I've got 3 turkey breasts, and I've got all my stuff laid out. And when I'm done with the show here, in just a few minutes, I'm excited. I'm going to brine each turkey breast in a different solution and put it in my Yeti cooler, and it'll brine until tomorrow morning, and all 3 will be cooked with different seasoning, and I guarantee you she'd like it. But there's none for her. None for her. She's off my list.
The moment she walks into the house with her own raw ribeye, and expecting you to grill it for her would be the moment you say, you need to turn around and you're going to go back and put that ribeye in your car. It's cold enough where it'll be refrigerated. You can take it home with you when we're done here. Now, you don't have to eat the turkey, but you do have to look at it, and you do have to accept it. That would be the end of the relationship. Pretty
I've
much
done
that
it.
would end
I've done everything that you can for Thanksgiving. I've cooked. We've had prime rib. We've had porterhouse steaks. We've had pork tenderloins. We've had beef tenderloin. I'm talking about prime. It's prime select. I've done briskets, and the ladies in our house, they really like the turkey, and so that's what we'll have. And we'll also have ribs. I've got a big enough smoker now, this big Rectech 1100. I can cook a lot of things at once, and so we'll have ribs, St. Louis style pork ribs, and they'll be seasoned right, and they'll be fall off the bone tender. I think I'll do one rack that's fall off the bone, and then another one that's more competition style. That's got a little more texture to it. But they'll be seasoned right and glazed at the end, and we'll have a big feast. But
You hear that, Matt? Clay's going to break out the competition ribs. I mean,
can do it
that's
either
when you
way.
know you're getting really serious. But it's kind of compete.
I can hear the passion in Clay's voice, man. I would yes, absolutely.
The company, I don't want any of that stuff you have over there where the meat's actually falling off. Bring me the competition ribs, buddy.
Just
I want
come
the
on,
ones
baby.
that matter.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll have fun. Yeah.
Scott asked if you brine with salt or brown sugar. I've used salt before.
I've got
but
3 different brines. Yeah.
The one that I like to do now, it's like I find these pickles that are in the refrigerated sections. It's a kosher pickle, and if you get enough, the pickle brine, it'll work just
It'll
fine.
work
You
too.
just It absolutely works. In fact, I've got a chicken thigh that's been brining in this jar for about the last week or so. I obviously forgot it was in there when I was at the last weekend up in Fayetteville for football and basketball. So when I open the refrigerator when I get back on Monday, it's like, wait a minute, where did this pickle smell come? Oh, there it is. Still have this piece of chicken that's been brining for over a week. So is this like a little overbrine?
Salt and sugar. Yeah, salt and sugar. And you have to remember in your cooking times, if you've brined it, you've started the cooking process already. That's what salt is. It's going to start to cook it. So the turkey breast will cook. You better be careful with your meat probes and understand what's going on. And I've got about 6 meat probes that I'll use. Some of them are hooked up to my Rectech, and some of them are, that I've added to the operation.
The one thing I want to make sure that I don't do is go to the grocery store a whole bunch. I think I've made 4 trips in one day on a Thanksgiving Thursday. So there's always one thing that you end up forget. Literally always one thing you forget, and then the next time you went there was another thing that you forgot that somebody asked about. You end up making 3 or 4 trips to the stupid grocery store in the same day, and it is the worst place to be the day before Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving morning. Absolutely the worst place to be. If you want to avoid social contact with anybody before you are forced to have your social contact with people while you're eating, don't go to whatever grocery store is anywhere near you, because they're all going to be there. Joe in Mountain View thinks that we are being a little clownish, making fun of Eli when the Razorbacks have an OC that put his mistress on the payroll. I don't think these two things are related. And I think when Petrino was hired, he as the OC, this stuff all ended up coming out. Everybody's opinion about it came out. My opinion about it came out. That was about 51 weeks ago. So I don't think these two things are necessarily the same, especially when it's been less than a day since the goofy coach intentionally mispronounced the quarterbacks. And which, by the way, Joe, there's not a single head coach in college football that would do that.
You call him
except
10, right?
Except
you say,
him.
Yeah, you just call his number. You just say his last name. He knew what he was doing.
You know exactly what he was doing. That's right. But I also don't think that this is a matter of, well, you can't say this about him because you get this guy as your offensive coordinator. It might work like that in your world, Joe, but it does not work on this show. Sorry. No, not really. Sorry. 877-377-6963. Back on
He did
Taylor
say
Green's.
he did say you. He didn't say we, so he's not a Razorback fan.
Well, obviously, because as I look at his texts here, the last time I remember I thought that I heard from him was about 2 years ago, and it was about Barry Odom walking on water when Arkansas hired him. So I think there's some listeners that when the word Mizzou comes out, it's like the antenna goes out, and all of a sudden here they come.
Hey,
They show us, don't they?
That North Carolina job that just opened up, you know who I'd be calling? Barry Odom. He'd be getting an interview. I don't
He's
know.
on their list.
I was
yeah.
about to say, man, he would be. You know what I don't want to say is one of our own could be on that list, and Travis Williams. If I don't know which way you're going, but maybe an interview.
Yeah, see, I go the other way, man. I'm pulling for Travis Williams to be a head coach, and
No, I am too. I am too. I just want him to be our D
when
coordinator
he's
for
got-
another
I
year.
know, but I'm also resigned to the fact that he's that good, and that somebody's going to hire him. And
You mean next year?
I don't know. I don't know what people are looking for. I don't know what his ties to different places. Those are all
The thing is, he's our best recruiter. That's one of the things I don't want. You don't want to when you lose your best recruiter. Remember, we lost Randy Shannon a few years back, and it took us 4 years to come. When you lose your best recruiter, it's so hard to go in there and replace that.
Yeah, I think Randy Shannon was a really good recruiter at one point. I think that he was less than that when we got him, Matt. I really do.
I got you.
I really do, and I think that he his dauber was down when we hired him, and his heart was Miami. I mean, that was where he wanted to be, and it was tough for him to go to Miami as an Arkansas coach, and he didn't have the same swagger as when he was at Miami. And I liked Randy, but he was a recluse at Arkansas. It was almost like, I don't even have the right clothes for this place. But he was at one point an elite recruiter. Not sure he was when we had him.
Well, that being said, that's another reason.
But
Travis Williams leaves. That's our best recruiter.
Yeah, but he has been an elite recruiter here, and I like the way he evaluates talent too.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of being a
it.
recruiter.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, Cecil is on hold. Let's talk to Cecil before the break. Cecil, happy pre-Thanksgiving. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. I'm blessed. I'm up in here trying to get paid, man. I want to wish all the Razorbacks. What you say, Matt?
He said,
just trying to get paid
We're
here,
all
too.
doing the same thing, Cecil.
Okay. I want to wish all the Razorback fans a happy Thanksgiving and a safe trip wherever you're going back to. I want to give y'all the recipe on the turkey. So y'all just put your seatbelts on and ride with me for a second. Okay, I've been doing this for years, and it's a great boy. You can't y'all. Hey, I had a few of my friends ask me how to make this turkey. You get your turkey, you prepare it, you stuff it, tie the legs down, get you a brown paper sack, a Kroger bag, the brown regular old school sacks. If you don't know where to get one, that you can go, if you're in Fort Smith, you can go on Grand, at the end of Grand at this liquor store down there off the highway past the tower down there. That's where I always go every year. And after you season it and everything, you have somebody to hold the bag open. You slide that big old turkey in there, and you fold it in really tight. Then you put it in a big pan. You stick it in the oven about 9 p.m., and you set it to 250, and you let it cook all night. About 5:30, 6 o'clock, the whole house be fumigating with flavors. And that's the best turkey. But then when you open it up, you cut it down the middle, which the bag is really easy to cut after that. And then you get you a dipper and you dip the juice back onto the turkey really well on your stuffing, and you let it sit another 30 minutes. You take it out, and there it is. Bam! You put your little butter on it or whatever. You got it, boy. You got it going on. So if y'all ain't never tried that, you might need to try it because it's really good. I swear to God. And the meat, all the meat is juicy, and it's flavory, and it's good to the last bite.
I'm going to get you Alyssa Lang. I'm going to get you Alyssa. Alyssa Lang needs your phone number, Cecil.
No,
I think
she's
Okay, 479-479-4017.
No. You don't have to give it out over the air. It's okay. We appreciate that, though. Thank you.
We'll get y'all in touch.
Anytime you're describing food and you're talking about fumigating and flavorly, I'm in. Let's go.
So it's the same technique, Cecil. I just use butcher paper. It's the same technique. It's the You wrap it in butcher paper, which is the same as paper sack. You get your
But the brown paper bag is different
cheaper.
now. I tried that little plastic. I did that one time. I'm like, nope. Try that bag. Man, we need you at Northside
butcher
High
paper is
School. We
not
need a head
plastic.
coach.
Yeah, I got it.
We need a head coach, man.
Cecil, thanks for calling. People have asked Matt about getting into coaching. It hasn't done it quite yet. Maybe it'll happen at some point. But I do appreciate the idea of flavor fumigation. I love alliteration. I love two words that have never been put together. They deserve to be put together. And I love flavor fumigation. Great stuff.
Come into the room and you feel it. You feel the love.
Hey, there's some flavor fumigation going on at Joe's Grill and Cantina every day that they're open, which includes football Saturdays, and that includes Arkansas football this weekend. Half-price apps, half-price taps all throughout the game and all day long. There's endless enchiladas, $15 pitchers of beer, margaritas, and sangrias. At Joe's Grill and Cantina, they'll be fumigating the flavors all day long. Located at 74th Street in Fort Smith across from Harps and online at joesfortsmith.com. It's the home stretch of the golden hour on a pre-Thanksgiving Wednesday on halftime. You can call us, text us, 877-377-6963, and we'll have more after the break.
Kind of a big deal. People know me.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Whether you're planting a tree in your backyard or trenching at a construction site, a call to 811 helps prevent dangerous damage to underground utilities and is the first step in keeping yourself and your community safe. Hitting a line can knock out service to your home and neighborhood, resulting in fines, damages, serious injury, or worse. Safety is in your hands. Call 811 before you dig. It's easy, it's free, and it's the law. This message is brought to you by Black Hills Energy.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jasco Graphics, 16 years in the industry. Cecil, this is the one-stop shop.
Yes, Jasco Graphics Design, the one-stop shop, 2415 Midland, for your custom or buck order.
Why ESPN 95.3?
I really enjoy listening in, and it keeps my day going while I'm at work. Jasco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jasco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
The Study Basketball Training has moved to the Hangout in Fort Smith. With basketball training classes from kindergarten through high school, there is a spot for your athlete. Depending on your skill set and training needs, the Study offers 3 class options: fundamentals, advanced, and 94 feet. You can also work on your explosiveness with Vertimax training or perfect your shot on the Dr. Dish machine. The Hangout, 5400 Gary Street, or thestudyhoops.com for more details. Fitness, sports, and now the Study Basketball Training. Let's hang out.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Took a car to the part of the city where the city runs out of the streetlights. God knows it's the way that it goes, that we're never gonna catch any daylight. My little sister's eyes so wide, they must have been the size of the city road tonight. Little sister's eyes so wide, they must have been the size of the city.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
You know, it's going to be cold, but you can look at cold, it's going to be cold, or you can say, hey, thank you, Lord, for allowing us to have a game, you know, and thank you, thank you for blessing us with the opportunity to play Missouri, no matter what the temperature is. And I'd rather look at that, and I think our team is looking at that way as well.
Sam Pittman at Sam Pittman Live yesterday, speaking with Chuck Barrett. We're going to have 60% chance of snow and temperatures in the very low 30s into the 20s, maybe even into the teens by the time the sun goes down in Columbia for Saturday. And it sounded, guys, to me like Sam was channeling his inner Jameis Winston from the pregame talk Thursday before the Browns and Steelers played. I don't know if you heard that interview, but it sounded a little bit similar.
You have said you don't become a Brown until you beat the Steelers. What will it take tonight?
The horse is prepared for battle, but victory comes from the Lord. So I'm dependent on the Lord.
Is that the message to the team?
Day by day, one play at a time. That's the message.
Weather conditions tonight. We're expecting winds up to 15 miles per hour in a wintry mix. How will that impact your ability to throw the ball?
I am so happy and grateful that the Lord has blessed me to play in some snow, to be in true football weather in Cleveland, Ohio at Huntington Bank Field today to give him the glory. It's a beautiful day.
Sure feels like you're playing in the AFC North.
It is. It's magical. Thank you.
Yeah. So, all right, you hear that? This is Sam again.
You know, it's going to be cold, but you can look at cold, it's going to be cold, or you can say, hey, thank you, Lord, for allowing us to have a game, you know, and thank you, thank you for blessing us with the opportunity to play Missouri, no matter what the temperature is. And I'd rather look at that, and I think our team is looking at that way as well.
It sounds like I think Sam was watching Thursday Night Football and watched the pregame.
A lot of players, this could be their last game in a Razorback uniform ever. I mean, it really could. Landon Jackson, Andrew Armstrong, Jaquindon Jackson, absolutely. It's an opportunity to go out there with your brothers one more time and it's a mindset, it's an attitude. It's don't fear it. Let's go out there and play fast, play fun, play physical. I think that's where Missouri's beat us the last couple of years. They've kind of dominated the line of scrimmage.
Line of scrimmage, baby. That's what it's about.
Heck, they ran all over the Razorback last year.
When you have weather like this, they just ran that stretch play over and over and over. I mean, it's just, what do you call it? Stretch play, outside zone. I don't know, Matt.
That's
you're
it.
better.
No, that's it. They were running that. That's a one cut. It's the old Denver Bronco play with Terrell Davis that they used to run so well when John Elway was there. But that's what they were doing: stretch left and stretch right.
Can your linebacker get out there and make that play in the alley? And a lot of them can't. I mean, I do think this team is built for that play a little better. They've got a little better speed. Xavier Sorey and Brad Spence, they can get to the alley. This is the kind of game where I want about 50 Tony Buas. And
Clay, you're only allowed to have 11 on the field at any one time.
I know, but if you had 50, you play them on offense and defense and special teams, and you'd kick some booty. You would kick some booty. I mean, and then after the game, you can say, it is Talon. It is Talon.
Yeah, I would love to see it. If they win this game, you can have Talon
It's
Green
not Talon.
just make a beeline for Eli Drinkwitz, extend a hand and be like, Coach, just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Talon. Nice to meet you.
And
Thank
you
you very
take your
much.
helmet off, so take a good look.
Hey, no, whoa, you just dropped something out of your pocket. What is that? It looks like an L.
Let me hand this thing to you on a silver platter. Matt, did you your last game as a Razorback, you did not think potentially it would be. You guys were trying to make it to bowl eligibility that last game against LSU, right?
Yeah, we were 5-7 that year. We let one get away at South Carolina. We let one get away at home early in the year at Texas that year. We had a couple of them that we could have. At LSU, we weren't. It was LSU was a real team that year, but we left a couple out there. We could have won 7. I think that team maybe if we would have hit on everything, we could have won 8.
But there was the possibility of playing for a bowl game, so you didn't
still
know
trying.
going.
Yeah,
you
still
didn't
trying.
know going into it that would be the last game that you played as a Razorback. But did it hit you when the game was over? I mean, you take a lot of pride in this program. You take pride in coming from the Razorback football program. So when it hit you that's the last game that you would ever play for, the last time you put the uniform and the helmet on, it had to have hit you, and it had to have hit you hard. Do you remember what that felt like?
Well, I mean, you're excited for all your brothers, and you don't really know what the next moment is. I was December 26th. I was at Parisi's Speed School in New Jersey training for the combine. So from whatever that day was till December 26th, I knew that my next profession wasn't going to be at quarterback. I knew it was a whole different change. But yeah, your friendships you have with Dow Loggins. The next quarterback was Robert Johnson. Peyton Hillis was our super freshman that year. Jamal Anderson, Marcus Monk. I mean, they had some freshmen, so you knew that the program was in good hands. You just wanted to see it going. I think they had one more down year after that, and then I think that's when Coach Nutt kind of had some really good years coming up where they beat LSU and had McFadden and Felix Jones and Peyton Hillis in the same backfield.
So, I mean, there are players that you had mentioned that know this will be the last time they play for Arkansas, even if there's a bowl game, knowing full well. Now, you would have played in a bowl game. People weren't opting out then, and I think, maybe if you played in a different era, you would have looked at it a little bit differently, but I know you would have played in that game. But a lot of these guys know, no matter what happens in this game, it's the last time they put on the uniform. Even some that are thinking, well, I'm going to go into the portal. I'm going to look for something that I think is a better offer, or I'm not playing.
Yeah, they won't
here,
be
so
on
I'm
the
gonna
bowl
look to go
roster.
somewhere else.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the whole point of, that like this is the end of the season, not the bowl game.
Phil, you're such a creature of habit too. I'll be honest. It happens like that. You don't really think about it until it actually happens, because Monday you know what you're doing. Tuesday's leading up to it. Wednesday you kind of in your routine of how everything's going, and it's really kind of in the back. It's not even, you don't even think about it until it's over with.
The best, most successful athletes, it's about the routine and the process more than it is the event. And if you get caught up in what you're talking about, Phil, that this is the last time. Sometimes that can be your enemy. And I think, the guys that are really good on the Pro Tour, they're into their routine more than they are of, I got to
They
make
enjoy
birdie
Tuesday
here.
just as much as Friday. That's right.
It's all built in. And now they can get a little flustered when they're out of that. In other words, it's like, okay, now I don't know what's next. And that's the tough thing to swallow. But Matt did have something that he was ready to focus on, which was, getting ready for the combine and getting ready for a pro career. But a lot of these guys won't have that. The ones that I think it really hits them is that there is no more football, that there is, that they're going into real life. And that's the way 90% of or 95% of these guys are. They're going into real life. They're not going to another football game, like pro football.
That's why I feel lucky that I'm a sportscaster, because it's like if I wasn't doing this, if there would be an end to it at some point, be like, well, what the hell am I going to do with myself now? Because I have
like
no
today,
freaking
like
clue.
this afternoon. What are you going to do, Phil?
No kidding, Matt. Like the show ends in 10 minutes. In 11 minutes, I will be
No show tomorrow.
Dude, I will stand there in front of the refrigerator looking at it, expecting, I got to get something to eat, and I'll be in the very same situation 20 minutes later.
Check out this Liverpool Real Madrid game at 2:00. Just put it on the background. Just put it on the background. It's Galacticos all over the field, and you might dig it.
He's trying to sell me on soccer, Clay. He did that the first time we ever worked on the show. You had me watching other matches.
Well, it's easier to watch it together because then you kind of got the vibe
shared
set.
experience.
Like, yeah. Talk about it. I can say, hey, this player's from here. This player's from here. He reminds me of Joe Adams. He reminds me of Cedric Cobbs, and this is how he plays. You're like, oh my goodness, leave me alone.
WT Equipment has the best deals of the year. They got the all model year 2023 and select 2024 Workmaster and Boomer compact tractors. You can choose some very special deals going on through the end of December. 0% financing for up to 72 months or $8,500 cash back. You can also, for a limited time, get a free loader with your purchase. That's a WT Equipment. Their Value Bonanza sale in Springdale right now, or any of their 7 locations. You can also go online to WTEquip.com. Come back to wrap up our week after this.
Hasta la vista, baby.
This is halftime.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith. Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Here with Grant Neal, General Manager at Rhodes Chevrolet. Grant, it looks like your quality and quantity of pre-owns just keeps getting better.
Yeah, it's really getting a lot better. And the reason is because we're selling more new cars. More new inventories rolling in, and with that, we get better trade-ins, which are the highest quality used cars we get. They're all going through our shop, getting a high-quality inspection from our certified technicians, making sure that everything works and it stops, starts, and steers safely, because we want everything out on the lot to be at a high quality. But we have something for everybody, whether you're looking for a cheap set of wheels just to get around, or you need a new primary car for the family, a new truck for work, whatever it is, I promise we're going to have something for you on our pre-owned lot.
What if someone needs financing or doesn't have the best credit? Can you help them?
Absolutely. Our finance director, Robert Good, is an expert at working with the banks. We've had people who said that they'll never be able to buy a car, drive out of here in a brand new set of wheels. And as we know, the Fed just did another cut in rates, so it's only going to get better as the year goes on.
2800 on the highway, Van Buren. It's Rhodes Chevrolet, where we make car buying great again.
Looking for a healthcare provider that truly listens to you? At Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, their team of nurse practitioners offer personalized healthcare with their in-house labs. Get fast results. Elite Wellness goes beyond just treating symptoms. Their holistic approach addresses the root causes of your well-being. Whether it's preventative care, illness, or exploring natural treatments, your health journey begins with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. Call 479-242-9355 for your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
Hanging with Danny Cobb at American Welding Laboratories. Danny, tell us about the school.
Well, Tommy, we're going on 3 years in operation. We teach all aspects of welding, from stick welding all the way to combination pipe.
So how's the job market these days?
Job market's wide open, whether you want to stay local or hit the road. As a licensed institution, we have access to many grants, including the GI Bill now.
Great. How do we get started?
Come by 4400 South 16th, take a tour, talk to our instructors.
It's American Welding Laboratories. Find out more at theweldinglab.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Working day was long, and the road is grinding on. The body's winding down again, yeah. The trouble fire's here, and the circle speaks so near. Well, truth so very much clearer, yeah. Baby, sweetest thing in the world. Sweetest thing in the world.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Well, you don't see this every day. College baseball teammates traded for each other. I think this happened, it was overnight or earlier this morning. Reds and Royals made a trade where Cincinnati gets Brady Singer, right-handed pitcher from Cincinnati, and the Royals will get Jonathan India and Joey Weimer from the Reds. India and Singer were Florida Gator teammates together. India was the third baseman. He plays second base now. Singer was their ace. And I remember when the Razorbacks beat them in the College World Series to end both of their college careers in the semifinals of the 2018 College World Series. I like this trade for both teams. Singer's good. I think India, I like India at second base for that team. That's going to be a good trade both ways. And then,
well, they had Singer's number, didn't they? Come at the Razorbacks.
They didn't just have his number. They had a tell.
Yeah,
they had a tell. They knew when he was throwing a pitch that he didn't realize they knew that they knew. It was,
and they hammered it.
Yeah, they really did. You got to hold on to that stuff. And then, Blake Snell signing with the Dodgers. That's the first big domino of the offseason that falls. 5 years, $182 million. Dodgers could end up with a rotation of Ohtani, Yamamoto, Glasnow, May, maybe Kershaw if he does decide to sign back with him. And then, of course, there is Snell. So world champions getting a little bit better, too. Hey, guys, hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Safe travels and everything that goes into that. And looking forward to doing this again on Monday.
Same to you.
Gobble,
Same
gobble.
To you, Phil.
Yeah, gobble, gobble. Hopefully the Razorbacks put together good performances Thursday in the afternoon.
Fingers
against
crossed,
Illinois.
right? Like seriously, if the football Hogs could go ahead and get this W, it'd be what was that, the sweetest thing in the world? 45.
I think it would make December just so much easier to enjoy just by beating Missouri. I really do think it makes the 4 weeks of December a little bit easier to enjoy. And we can all teach the head coach of the Missouri Tigers the real first name for the Arkansas quarterback.
Make him say it.
Well, and make him say it and like it.
Yes, sir.
I like the direction you go in there.
Go Turkey.
C45. Hope you and Christian also have a great Thanksgiving. To all our listeners out there, safe cooking. Make sure that your flavors are fumigated properly. Thank you very much, Cecil, for the new terminology.
New term.
And we'll reconvene on Monday. Stay tuned for Ruskin and Zach coming up shortly. We have the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast ready to go. And I got to figure out what to do with myself for the rest of the day. For Matt, Clay, Christian, Colton, and everybody else at ESPN Arkansas, I'm Phil Elson. Thanks for listening. That's halftime. Get up, get out, and get better.